Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Co-Optional Podcast. What the hell is wrong with you people? Can we not just have... I just want one. Just one regular start to the show. Is that too much to ask?
It is. I think it is.
I was pulling a face. Jesse mimicked it, and then Cry said he was also gonna do it, but no one could see him.
Of course he can't, so what's the point?
The idea of it just made him just like, just waiting, but no one would ever see it. Like, just made me giggle. Okay, hi everybody, welcome to the Co-Optional Podcast.
Woo!
Woo!
Well, that's our excitement for one day. Can't have any more of that.
Woo!
Welcome to the Co-Optional Podcast. We do occasionally talk about video games. This is the episode for the 9th of June. It is the calm before the storm that is E3. Which means just, like, no news because everyone's saving it for E3. It's not actually true. There's a few little tidbits here and there.
Yeah.
But not too much.
There's
like
some dangles.
Yeah.
Little
or a dongle,
threads.
quite literally, in fact. There's news about a dongle.
Oh,
What?
nice. I love dongles.
Yeah,
Dongle news?
I'm a fan of dongles. Yeah, I do like me dongles. And there's the Xbox One wireless controller dongle, which is coming out. Very exciting.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I mean that's the level of
wondering
news
where
that we
you
can
were
bring
going
to you
with it.
today. It's like that you can buy a dongle now for $25. Actually, I don't think it's quite out yet, but I'll be picking that up because I actually like the Xbox One controller quite a lot. I swapped out the 360 pad for that because it's got a better D-pad. I like the triggers a bit more as well.
Like
So,
the
like,
D.
Yeah, absolutely. I like a nice smooth D. One that I can handle
Damn it.
properly.
Damn it.
You got
Damn it,
2,000
damn
Ds
you.
over
I
there.
gotta take the D.
Damn you, 2000D. Does got
Always
2000D.
Always funny.
You could put those in a bag, and then it's like, yeah, you better take a bag of D's. There you go.
Oh, that
as
was
it,
a
as
good
it stands,
goof.
you have a jar of D's.
Next goof.
There you go. Yeah, there's your joke. I see you're drinking delicious Propel, Jesse. I'm a fan of that.
I have been
Do you like the Propel? Yeah, there you go.
same kind.
Oh,
I
the kiwi and strawberry is legit. Mm.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I have been drinking this, plus taking more medicine than any human should, plus orange juice, plus
I'm sorry, Jesse.
vitamin
You're trying to
C.
compare how many drugs we've taken because I think I win on
Here's
that
the
one.
thing though. Yours is like, that's legit.
Life-saving
Mine,
and also poison.
yeah, yours are like needed.
Yes.
Mine is to fight off a cold. So it's
Not
more-
needed. It's just you're
Yeah,
whining,
yeah.
right?
well, yeah. But here's the deal. I feel really good right now.
Yeah.
So don't harsh my buzz, bro. I'm feeling pretty good.
Okay, I
Just-
shall leave your buzz alone. I won't touch it. I don't know where it's
Thank-
been anyway.
Are you going to be that jerk who goes to E3 to get everyone sick? Because you're being that guy right now, aren't
Oh
you?
god,
No,
con
I'm
flu.
trying to
Oh.
not be sick. I'm trying to save the world from sickness. It's the worst. Being sick freaking sucks. No one should suffer this fate. No one.
The dreadful
Being-
fate of the common cold.
The common cold is the worst. F that business. Get out of here, cold. That's what I say. So I'm fighting it. I'm fighting it with my nose is stuffed up. I got tissues. I got I've been drinking all sorts of waters with vitamins in it. Plus, who knows that'll help? Probably not. But it doesn't matter.
I
'cause
like
it's
how you
vitamins.
thought Propel is a good medicinal aid. It's like, no, it's just a drink, Jesse. It's
Well,
nice,
it's better.
but...
It's better than normal water because it says it has vitamins. Normal
Oh.
water, f that shit.
Yeah,
water,
I have no idea how much. Yeah, it's got the D in it actually.
It
No,
says
no, it doesn't.
50% of my
It has the C and the E.
50%.
There's no D. No D.
30% C, 15% E, whatever the hell nice it is. Fuck it, I want some of
Vitamin
that.
B6. Got a lot of that. I love me B6 right there.
There's acid in it.
I've
That'll
never
burn
even
away.
heard of Propel. I don't even know what that
Pretty
is.
great.
It's just
actually.
Is that
flavored
like
water.
It's
Oh,
called
okay.
the workout water, and you know it's getting used.
It's like no working out
Nice.
whatsoever going on here. It's just nice flavored water essentially. It's a clean taste. It's pretty good.
I don't like flavored water.
I don't like unflavored water.
I'm fine.
thought
You were
Fine.
gonna
with
say
mine.
I
water.
don't like you, and I was like,
I don't like
back-
your face.
Oh.
Ooh.
goodness.
Dodge you
man,
on the
yeah.
show,
Hello.
along with your stupid face.
I'm drinking regular water.
Oh,
So there's that.
wow.
I know. I
Ooh.
know.
Ugh.
But yeah, there really isn't that much to talk about today other than Like
video games.
Oh, what are
forgot
you
those.
looking forward to at E3? So
The
aside from
crowds,
Dark Souls 3,
the
everybody's barking
pestering,
over Dark
the
Souls 3, and
business
that's about
cards.
it.
You know,
Yeah, the
all
circle
the best,
jerks.
best parts.
So many circle jerks everywhere you look.
The really annoying parties that you go to that you just. Oh god, I remember queuing for. We had to queue with some employees of Sony Online Entertainment for the party sponsored by Sony Online Entertainment, and we couldn't get in. And there were all of these people there. I was like, who the fuck are you people? I was like, oh, we just came for the party. It's like, so which games company do you work for? Games? Like, yeah, okay. We're going to the hotel bar to drink Moscow Mules, and we're going to go complain for 2 hours. That was much more fun.
Moscow Mules are so good. By
Yes,
the way.
they are. Absolutely
Great
phenomenal.
Drink. Good choice.
Yeah. If I can get them. Only if you can get them in a nice copper mug that's nicely done.
That's what I was about to say. The only reason why you like them is to come in a little copper mug.
They're
that's cute.
great.
You're like, ooh.
Well, we drank
places
like
don't
a
even
bunch
have
of those.
though.
Jesse, you remember when we went to that steakhouse,
I
Donovan's?
do.
We were drinking Moscow Mules. We were down in those. They were lovely.
Mr. Bane. I was like, oh, he's famous.
Hey, wait, that cost a lot of money. Anyway, it felt good though. That's the main thing. It's, you know, for those 2 hours, you get to live it up, and then you suffer the consequences financially afterwards. Oh, our guest today has a name he hates. Chaotic Monkey.
Ah, yeah. Good
Also,
name.
better known as Cry. Welcome back to the show.
Hey, man, it's been almost a year. What's going on, man?
Not
I'm
too
drinking
much.
normal water, sponsored by
How-
Aquafina.
But how can we know? Because you don't show us.
Yeah.
Oh,
Show us the water.
That only
propel
verifies
doesn't
that it's
sound
liquid.
like
That could be anything.
Okay, you're right. Fuck, you got me. It's
That could
Mio.
be
I'm
vodka.
sorry. I'm sorry.
It's
Vodka
Mio.
in a bottle.
Straight vodka.
In a plastic
Straight vodka
bottle.
in a water bottle.
Classy. Very classy. No one
Absolutely.
knows the
I-
difference.
Can I do a throwback to the last time that Cry was here?
You can, because I can't fucking remember it.
Everybody go Google the word cry and see what the first thing that pops up is, because it still
Oh.
works.
Oh, does it really?
What?
It
What
still
was
Here
works.
we go. Google.
Shit.
Cry.
It's not
I
bad. I
mean,
mean, you beat the Child's Rights Organization
Yeah,
of America.
I don't know
Sorry,
that's
kids.
good, though. I don't know that's a good thing.
Those kids apparently aren't as important as me on internet. Apparently.
I'm just saying, like, and then there's a bunch of images of kids just crying beneath it. It's like, Cry, you ruined the charity.
They watched my shit. They're like, oh no.
oh god.
This is what gets people by these days.
What happened?
You actually beat out the definition of the word cry.
That's kind of
That's what I'm
terrifying.
saying. We had
The
this
word.
conversation last time where I was like, that's not gonna work. And he's literally the first thing that pops up when you type in the word cry.
It's a
So
bit surprising, you gotta admit.
what can you do?
The
You
internet's
You
fucking
broke
weird.
Google.
I guess so. Huh.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Whatever.
we bring the voice anyway. That's the main thing. I feel like not showing your face sort of enhances the mystique. You know, we've got to rely purely on your dulcet tones.
I always go by like when I was younger, I was hanging out with my grandma because that's what young boys do
Of
when their
course.
moms are very good at doing mom things. And she was telling me about old school like radio shows, like where they like tell a story over the radio, like mystery novels and things like
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
And she like let me listen to some when I was a kid. And I was like, that's really cool.
It
So I
is.
always kind of wanted to be something similar to that.
I
and-
remember.
You did it.
Play video games doing it. So
I remember listening to a radio adaptation of The Lord of the Rings, and they did it on BBC Radio, and it was really fucking good. Like, I'd argue the music they did for it was arguably better than the movie. It was just really great, iconic. And eventually, I got this thing on tape, and it's 22 tapes long. It's the whole
Wow.
thing. Like, it's not abridged in any way. It's the whole fucking thing. 22 tapes. Obviously, both double-sided. Fucking awesome. Love radio plays and radio dramas.
I gotta hear that. I gotta hear that one day. I want it.
need it.
I want it in my life.
I have no idea how to get it anymore. I mean, it's probably a case of torrenting it. The chances are you
To
can't
the
even
torrents.
buy it.
Someone
Which is a
contact the
shame because
pirates.
I really
It's
do.
a Pirate Bay, everybody.
It is genuinely a better telling of the story than the movie is. Like, they got some quality readers and quality voice actors involved in it, and got a great composer to do the whole thing. It was creepy. Like, the swamp section, remember the dead marshes? That was actually genuinely scary when they read it out, because they used some really spooky music, and they were very, very descriptive about the shit that was going down. It was really cool.
Oh, TB, what if you found it and you listened to it and you were like, oh, this actually was really bad. That feeling is the worst feeling in the world.
is,
When you're as a
actually.
child, you're like, "This is amazing," and then you go back to watch it or listen to it, and
you can still buy it. It's
It's on iTunes, I think, right?
I don't know if it's the same one. It's claiming it's the BBC dramatization. It's on a fuckload of CDs. Actually, oh damn it, this is the abridged version of it. 13 hours, 13 CDs.
Well, it's
Not
just
good enough.
abridged, though.
22 hours. You need all 22
You need the whole lot.
hours.
This is not good enough.
spoopy habits.
You just gotta like put that on one day and do nothing but just lay there, eat Cheetos, listen to not Game of Thrones. Whole different genre.
Game of Thrones.
I really should listen to Game of Thrones because I imagine there's so much that's cut out for the show that actually listening to an
So
audio
much.
book
That's what I
of it
hear,
would
yeah.
be pretty good.
So much.
That might
Are
be
you
an
one of those
idea.
people that the books are better than the show, Jesse?
I don't read the books. I read the first one and I found it's incredibly dense and it jumps around so much that I had difficulty keeping track of who the characters were. I actually think the show does a better job in that respect, but I think an audiobook would work really well.
Disagree. Some characters are totally different. I will say I like the show for the show's sake because it's fun to see, but I think it's gone in such a different direction that comparing the show and the books anymore is silly. Like seasons 1, 2, and 3 you could because it was almost like verbatim what happens. Now it's so off the rails, it's like two different things. Like the last episode, so much shit happened that didn't happen in the books. You're just like, what? So either you're one of those people that's like, I can't get over that, or you're like me where you're like, all right, that was kind of cool. Can't wait to see what happens because I have no clue what's going to happen next. So that's where I'm at.
So it's kind of like its own fan fiction.
Oh, pretty much. It's like when you found out that 50 Shades of Grey was supposed to be a Twilight fan fiction. It's along those lines where it's like, is this so different from the other thing? It's something entirely new now. Yeah.
Yeah, on Sunday, pretty much everybody that I know who reads the books was like, that didn't happen in the books. That didn't happen in the books. Like,
And it's such a major thing too. You're like, bullshit. No. No. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I haven't watched
you're
this
like,
season at all, so. But
It's apparently it seems like I'm sorry, I've been looking this up now. Apparently it seems like Audible has the 1981 adaptation of it or something along those lines, which I think might be it says it's unabridged. Fuck yeah.
Oh.
Well, I know what I'm listening to for the next like 5 days.
Now we know why all those other YouTubers are sponsored by them. Because of this
Audible's
exact reason.
I started listening to what is it? Ready Player One. Will Wheaton reads it. It's pretty good. It's not too shabby.
I read like half of that book.
Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
It wasn't nearly trashy enough for me, so I gave up.
I understand.
I like it. It's like Ready Player One isn't trashy enough for you. It's like
It's not.
It's
It's
not
just
a
not.
difficult book to read.
I'm not looking for difficulty. I'm looking for like dialogue that makes me go, "Who says that? Who says that?"
To be
Can I
fair,
That's
I
what I
spent
need
more
in
than
my
like
books.
2 years reading nothing but Warhammer 40,000 novels, which is exactly that. It's like, this is bullshit. It's literally 2 pages of describing like how strong the Space Marine is. Like, God.
can I interest you in a series of books entitled Superhead? You may enjoy those.
Oh, really?
Who are you talking to right now?
You, Dodger. It's when I was a teacher. I'm not even gonna. When I was a teacher, I did a book report one year. My very first year, I was like, choose a book. This is what I learned. Don't ever let your students choose a book. I was like, choose a book that you think would go really well with the subject. I remember we were talking about like the 70s or something like that. And so all these students brought in books from this series called Superhead, which is literally like the trashiest like romance novels you can imagine.
Oh my.
But it involves like this woman whose nickname is Superhead. And I'm just saying,
Oh,
Your name is
really?
Superhead?
I see where this is going.
I was like, all right, guys, we can't do this anymore. I was like, I've learned my lesson. We're not doing this anymore. So Google that if you want some trashy novels.
I Google Superhead and I have this very attractive African American woman just everywhere.
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah,
She's the
Superhead.
author, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think
Wow.
she
She's
wrote
the author of the
Superhead.
Superhead series. Yeah.
super.
She's fabulous. Love it. She's wonderful. Not for classrooms.
Huh.
Lessons learned. Not for the classroom.
Author
bring
of
her
the
in.
Vixen series of books. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, she's a former video vixen turned author. That's
Apparently so.
Oh.
Confessions of a Video Vixen.
Oh, is that what they call it these days? Video vixen?
I have
I
no
like the name
idea
of it.
what that is or
I've
means.
never heard of the term. It just sounds nice.
No, neither have I. I have no idea
No,
what that
video
is.
vixen is like the women who are on all the music videos who just like shake their ass in music videos.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
we're not talking about the thing where
She's not a
We're
porn
not
star.
talking about
janitors-
these.
Interesting.
Okay.
They actually have a
Okay.
term for that. Huh.
She's one of like the flag girls who was in every video during like the 90s. Like she's
Right.
one of those.
Interesting.
Did she have like 90s hair going the whole time too?
Oh hell if I know. All I know is that my students showed up to class one day with like 5 books that said Superhead. And I was like, well, this isn't a thing that I ever expected to happen in my life. Guys, we can't do this anymore. I was like,
Oh
all
my
right.
God.
So the next day I
You
came in with a
literally
list.
ruined this project for everyone.
Oh, yeah.
You literally ruined it.
The next day I came in with a list of books. I was like, you can choose from these. And they were like, what the fuck is this, Cox? And I was like, sorry, don't bring Superhead to class. So, there we go.
Welcome to the Corruption Podcast. We occasionally talk about books, but we're going to talk about video games. I think that sounds like a good idea. Why don't we start with our guest, Cry? What have you been playing this week? What's been going on?
Oh man, listen. So I've been playing a lot of Heroes of the Storm because I'm a
Yeah.
nerd,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Jesse's got to invite me to his pro team already.
Oh, really?
And yeah, because like I would totally carry their shit so hard. You don't even know.
No.
He shakes his head in disgust, but he don't know shit. Okay, I'll murky the fuck out of that guy. It's great, homie. And then I got as like everyone probably has The Witcher 3, just because it's just so immersive. I can't not enjoy that game.
Let's
Yeah,
talk
I
a
don't
bit
know, I like
more
it.
about Heroes of the Storm before we do it. Just because I put the video on the screen, it feels like a waste to switch games
Oh,
now.
right,
It's
right,
like,
of course.
it's been on for like 5 seconds, damn it. Come on, I'm trying my
I'm
best
sorry.
here.
I'm
Trying
trying
my
to get
best.
a bunch in here.
What heroes have you been playing recently? I know there's been a couple of new ones. The Crusader just came out.
Yeah,
And,
that's Johanna.
Yeah, have you tried her yet?
I have. She feels like a very beefy person,
Yes.
and I enjoy being a beefy person because then you can hang out and not die a lot sooner than other people that aren't as beefy. And she can. She's very disruptive. So if you got people who channel stuff, you'd be like, "Hey, stop it," and then they have to stop. So it's great because then they can't do their cool stuff. So she seems to work out pretty well, and she doesn't feel like how a lot of in MOBAs when the new characters introduced, generally people like scream overpowered and all that nonsense. But people seem to think she's generally okay from my knowledge.
Yeah,
So-
that was the impression that I got from people as well, just reading the subreddit and the forums and things like that. It's like, yeah, Johanna's fine. And I played her, and she's like, yeah, she's a good tank. I don't really have too many complaints about her. She's not that great until you unlock the talents, but that takes a couple of games. Once you've done that, though, she's pretty awesome.
She's the perfect like team-based tank.
Mhm.
If you like to tank but you want to play like quick match, I wouldn't pick her because you rely on everyone else being around you. She has no damage, but what she does have is some really cool abilities where she can blind people, she can stun people, and she can suck people in. And if you put her with Uther, or you put her with Kael'thas or Jaina, when she sucks people in, that's just like massive.
Yeah,
If you do
just
Uther-
dump everything on
Yeah,
her.
Uther, Johanna, and any AoE like caster, you suck them in, stun them, they're instantly dead. It's insane. But her by herself, she can't do anything. She
No.
can just suck you in, and so it's really nice to see a character that's super strong, but only in that she can take hits. She can't really do any damage, which I think is really cool. And,
Is there a build you can go which like is an actual DPS build? Because I know there's some talents
Yeah.
related to that, but I mean,
Yeah,
it's just not
yeah.
very good.
It's not good. Like there's one build that's a DPS build that relies heavily on you are more support than a tank. So what you do is you run in, you blind people, and when you blind them, it also slows them and lowers their like their total HP pool, so they take more damage. So basically, you're like helping. So you run in and you get them all in, and then you can help your team kill them faster. But it's not necessarily as good as I now am an invincible character. Come get me. I'm level 16.
Yeah.
You guys suck. Like I feel like that's a much better way to go. But so far I'm excited, and the stuff they're coming out with that I saw weeks ago that I can talk about. Yay! June 30th they're starting their like big, massive campaign where it's the new map is going to be this Heaven and Hell map, and they
Yep.
have the Butcher from Diablo. And
I'm
if you
so
look at
excited for that.
if you look at the images they showed, it looks like in the future we're going to get like Angelic Diablo and the Skeleton King and a bunch of other things are coming down the pipeline. So at least that's what it looks like. I can't wait. And then each of the maps apparently has to do with Diablo in this big campaign, the internal conflict. So
More map
cool.
sub is good.
Wait.
The map variety keeps me interested in that game. That's like something that no other Dota style game has, except for like Awesome Noughts. Like they have a few maps, so that's pretty cool. But I like the fact that I don't know which map I'm going to be in. It keeps things a little bit fresh.
Yep, I'm excited. I'm really excited to see what happens with the game in the future. They keep saying every 3-4 weeks there's gonna be something new, which is great. And yeah, man, I wish the game the best, or else I wouldn't be involved in a pro team.
In the esports scene of it, it's like, you
Yeah.
better do well, otherwise I'm fucked.
Better fucking.
Welcome
stick
to how
around,
every
please.
StarCraft team feels right now.
Yeah, man. So I'm excited. Oh my god! Speaking of esports, my team had to do its like first like major reshuffle, so that's a thing that happened.
Have your team even played a match yet before you've reshuffled?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they played a bunch. But we had our first like people don't really know what they want to do kind of thing. Like, I want to be in charge. No, I want to be in charge, and that kind of thing. So we
that's cute.
so we had to like do some stuff, which was I didn't know that was a part of esports. I didn't think it'd be that quick. So that was fun. But let's see what happens with Team 2.0, shall we?
So listen, do you have a teacher's pet in your team that
No.
you just like better than the others?
No.
No.
I like them all equally in that if they don't win, I can get rid of them real quick.
Oh,
Wow.
that's okay. All right, that's fine. It's good. You should be detached. So when you got to make the tough decisions, it doesn't really hurt you that much.
No, I'm not detached. I just really want them to do well, and so my expectations aren't like for them to win. My expectations, I was like, if you can get on stage at BlizzCon, my God, that'd be the best thing in the world for me, because at least we achieve something. Because when you look at esports and you look at the teams, the majority of the teams are like, we're in every esport. We do all this stuff. We have a shit ton of sponsors. We have boatloads of money, and it's really hard to compete with that. Like, those guys can pay people a ton of cash to play video games, and I just can't do that. Like, I'm like, here's what I'll do, and work with me here. But I mean, yeah, it's a tough market to get into. I would not recommend it to anybody. So that's my thing.
I've run an esports team for almost 3 years. I would not recommend it to anybody. It took us 2.5 years to get into profit. And we sunk a huge amount of money in before that. So it's
tough. It's a tough world.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking difficult.
I'm just gonna stay far away from that shit. I don't want to be on your team anymore, Jesse. Get away from me.
Good. You wouldn't be on it anyway.
I'll watch your team. I'll watch your team. Do
I'll
cool
watch
stuff.
too, I guess, or
Yeah.
something.
Or you could go watch the video of Team Low Expectations this weekend. What? We at the Blizzard event that they had on Saturday, we went up against a wonderful group of Twitch users who everyone thought was going to beat us, and for the first half of the game they were beating us, and then we initiated Operation Abathur. And it was Abathur, Murky, Johanna, Jaina, and I don't remember who our healer was. I think it might have been Brightwing. You can't stop Abathur. You can't stop Abathur and Murky. Oh, it was so cool. Go watch that video. Go watch that video and be blown away by Michelle Morrow, who I will say proved to the world she is a hardcore gamer. She was incredible as Johanna. Fucking destroyed. And I was like, there's your cred. Next BlizzCon, you can get up on stage and be like, I'm not just a pretty face who announces shit. I fucking wrecked. So, bam. There you go. She destroyed. It was amazing. She went in with Johanna, was like, Krendor.
In your team?
Krendor couldn't make it, and then Husky couldn't make it, and so we had Victa and Michelle, and they both were amazing. They killed. Low expectations, guys. Low expectations isn't out there. It's right here. Low expectations are inside of all of you.
Wow.
And all you need to do is just open up to the low expectations.
I believe now.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. You're the father figure I never had.
No, you can't believe because you have to have low expectations, and believing is having high expectations.
I don't believe in you.
Abort, back
I'm
up.
sorry, man. I just can't have faith in this anymore.
Right here.
Stop giving me your lies.
Everyone in chat, you all are such low expectations. Deep inside of you, I have no expectations for you, chat. I believe in you.
How much medicine have you been taking?
Holy shit, a ton. And I have nothing else to drink here, so now my throat's dry, and I'm just... I'm gonna stop talking. TB, talk about something.
No, because Cry needs to talk about Witcher 3, so he
Oh,
can go do
right.
that for the time being.
Okay.
And I could sit here in silence because I still haven't played it. My wife is playing it. I haven't touched it yet.
Really? Not even once?
I've got a bunch of
What?
other shit to do.
That's understandable though. It does take it takes a lot of your time when you play that game. And when you
That's
play, you
true.
don't just play like 1 hour. You gotta like devote time to it. Like
I don't
like
play a lot of big
female.
RPGs. I'm not
Yeah.
the world's biggest RPG fan, honestly. I like them well enough, but it's not exactly something that I'm gonna jump on immediately. It's like I don't have to play it now. I could play it some other time. You know.
It's so good though. It's so good though.
Cry, did you find the cave?
I did find the cave. You guys fart a lot. You guys just
Nope.
very tooty.
Nope, just her. Just
Okay.
her. Those are all
Alright.
Dodger farts.
All your farts, all recorded in house.
I made all those fart noises too.
I'm so proud of you with your
Killing
fart
it.
noises.
Thank you.
Well done.
It took me like 5 times to kill you fucking guys, and then I just had to have Dodger kill you all. I just had to mind controller and
Oh,
make
you
it
mind
do it all.
controlled her?
Yeah, I couldn't figure out another way. But it was just too much for me.
Some guy sent me a
Fucking
video,
jerks.
and it's literally him like trying to kill Dodger for like 5 minutes. Then I come up behind him and go like, "Brah," and he dies, and I'm like, "Yay!"
Yay!
That works.
Yeah.
The game itself though, there's just like so many small things. Like I'm just going around and suddenly I found like this huge cave with a vampire in there. I'm like, oh, this is what I'm doing today. And just I was exploring and I just randomly find Letho from the other game. He was just
man.
in a house. I'm just like, I was not expecting you to be here. I was just looking around the place. Hi. And then I just go off and do his thing. I'm just like,
I'm glad I
this
killed that
is a
son
good
of a
game.
bitch.
Really?
I hope he doesn't show up in my game. Yeah, I killed him. I killed him in the second one because that guy was a dick.
What? I thought
He was
didn't
the
think he was
assassin
that-
of kings.
I
That's
get
what
it. He
the
was,
game
yeah, but he was like totally helping with like your girl and stuff, man. It's like
Nope,
that was nice.
false.
It was bro code.
False.
No,
Nope,
false stat.
false.
What's going on? What's false about that?
No, man. He was working for Nilfgaard the entire time. He destroyed the Northern Kingdoms. The
He's
whole third game.
misunderstood.
Spoilers, please.
That's
Oh.
from the second game. Look, if you haven't played the second game after 5 years, get your shit together. That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
just so we're on the same page, Leto is a very burly bald man,
He's
and
wonderful.
I think he's a nice guy. You just gotta respect the fact that
No, he's
he's a
not.
dick.
Yeah, you have
It's
to respect the
okay.
fact that he's a bad person.
But he's a bad person with a good cause.
But one of the things I like that like doing like a let's play of it, I think is really cool because people have no clue what to expect when you do stuff. Like there's one part where I did a thing that was the opposite of what everyone else watching did. And they were like, "Oh, you screwed up." Later in the game, the change that occurred, I could still do stuff, but the change was so drastic, everyone was like, "Oh shit, I didn't see that. That didn't happen to mine." And I was like, "Yep."
Yeah, it's cool because it really does employ that sort of morally gray aspect through the whole game where you're like, I might do something that feels like it was the wrong thing to do now, but later it could have positive benefits or vice versa.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I
Can I
love
just-
that.
Can I just ask without spoiling, did it involve the tree or no?
No, here's the thing. Oh shit, speaking of the tree, I haven't got there in my Let's Play, but I know about it because I think I watched Dodger play it when she was someone played it when we were at the event. But so I know about it. But I was reading a book. I was in a house or like found a book somewhere. And as I read through the book, it was the story of the tree.
Really?
But like it was the backstory. And so everyone in chat was like, "Oh shit." And I was like, now I know going in to the actual like event what to do, which is really cool. So
That is neat. I like that.
read books is what I'm saying, fools. Read a book.
Read a book, read a motherfucking book.
motherfucker.
Yeah,
Dude.
read a book.
Wow.
Brush your
that's
teeth,
on topic.
motherfucker. Brush your teeth.
Huh. Neat. That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good game. One of these
It is a
days
good
when you have
game.
a
It's real
week to
fun.
waste, just go play it. Just go play
Only
it.
a
all.
week?
Well,
Month.
nothing else. Nothing else. Just the week.
You could beat it in a week, but if you want to do everything, take a month
Oh.
off.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like 80 hours in and I still have like another 30 at least to go. So
I could play like 20 indie games in that time. It's just easier. Get
I
more
know.
content
You haven't
out
even
of it.
touched it. You don't know.
Well, I mean, you just said that he's spent 80 hours up to this point. I'm like, okay, well, I could probably.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, you're implying I could play all of these games, and that would be a better use of my time. What I'm saying is, you haven't touched the game, so you don't know.
For a game that I literally cannot ethically cover,
emotionally,
then yes,
emotionally, it could be more worth your time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Emotionally, it could be more worth your time.
Here's the thing, Gotcha Love. Here's the thing.
All right.
Holy shit.
Sometimes you find a game that you have so little emotional connection to that you turn around to the PR guy and say, I'm just pressing buttons and my life has no meaning.
Holy fuck.
I hope that's how that guy talks.
That's exactly how he talks. My life has no meaning.
I had that moment this weekend, TB, when I read the guy who did the Heroes of Storm review.
Oh, Mitch's review. Yeah, he's a hardcore Dota fan, which probably is not the best position to be in.
Yeah.
That's the IGN guy,
I felt bad. Yeah, I felt bad. Like, I don't hate the dude, but I was like, you are literally the last person who should have reviewed this. When you write an article that's like, how Dota changed my life, you're the last person who should have reviewed this. Like, just saying.
I saw some of his posts on Reddit as well. It was like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's view. I think you've got to have some experience in MOBAs to do compare and contrast.
That's the thing, yeah.
But if you read his Dota review, he was like, I never liked MOBAs till Dota. So literally, like, you can't. I was like, it's not you, bro. It's IGN has no one on staff who could have handled this, so
which
they
is
gave it to you.
Strange. I mean, I think I would have thought a lot of people would at least dabbled. I mean, I've played about 6 or 7 different Dota style games. Like, I feel like I could probably give a pretty good impression of what's different, what works, and what doesn't. It did seem like he misunderstood some things. It's like, oh, if you fail to get an objective early in the game, you pretty much lose. And it's like, no, you really don't. Like, that game has some crazy combat mechanics. A great deal of it.
That's one of the negatives. You're like, there's no comeback mechanic. And I was like,
yeah, there is.
Did you watch the Twitch tournament this weekend?
Mechanic.
Yeah, the Twitch tournament on Sunday was like every other game had a comeback in it. It was like, that's 90% of the game is you can come back because they have rubber banding experience.
Yeah, this is the same guy who had like the list of like things he like factually got wrong, right? Like he was talking about like how you can't have a skin before level 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
He definitely made some mistakes. There's no doubt.
But again, that comes down to, it's not his fault. It comes down to the fact that IGN had no one on staff who could do a better job. That seems insane.
I don't know. I mean, maybe they just viewed it as like, oh, this guy really likes one game in the genre, so he must be an expert in all of the others, which, maybe is not true.
Bad. It's still just as bad on IGN's part.
Yeah, I mean, I think so to some degree there. Some people were claiming as well that apparently they found Mitch Dye's Blizzard profile and he had like 9 to 10 hours on the game before he talked about it. Like, well, I mean, for one thing, you don't know if that's actually the one he played the game on. Yeah. It's entirely possible because Blizzard gives out a lot of press accounts. So
that have all the things unlocked. And yeah.
So it's entirely possible that actually he didn't, and apparently he's been calling Here's the Storm fans rabid. I'm like, my God, man, you play Dota. You know what Rabbit fans are like. Yeah. Come on. Be reasonable here. It's just take that constructive criticism. Yeah, I always feel like games like that are difficult to properly review because they can take hundreds of hours. Like, everyone who pretty much reviewed Dota 2, I can't think of a single useful review of Dota 2. It's like, oh, if you're not put 1,000 hours in, then you don't know anything about the game. It's that simple. Like, people who put 1,000 hours in are only mildly good at it. You have to put a huge amount of time in. So it's just, some of those games are just nigh on impossible to review properly.
Yeah, again, I don't blame that guy. I'm sure he's a great dude. I just think that he shouldn't have been the one to write the review.
Also, what the hell's the point of reviewing a free-to-play game? You can just go try it yourself for free. Who gives a fuck? It's like, why are you reading reviews about a game you can literally just install with one click and just play, figure it out yourself?
It might be for the people who have data caps, where they don't know if they should like download that and use their.
Purely for that Australian marketplace.
Yes,
absolutely.
Damn it, Australia! Everything that goes wrong is your fault. End of the world.
The scary bug pictures we see, I don't like it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That could also be Texas sometimes. We don't know.
Oh, that's true. Good point.
Story.
Texas is basically our Australia, really, when you think about it.
It is. Mm-hmm. It absolutely is.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
really
oh
is.
Man, I woke up this morning and my cat was fighting with a scorpion in my bedroom. What are the odds? And I'm like, fuck you, Texas. I will never live there.
Yep.
Apparently Belgium has data caps and Iceland as well, so there you go.
Oh.
Belgium.
Oh, not going there either. All right, cool.
No.
My cat ate a spider this morning.
Oh, wow.
Really cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah, there was a big old spider in the bathtub, and I went in to go pee, and she was like, attack! And she like ran in ahead of me, jumped on it, and smacked it and killed it, and then ate it. I was really proud.
What kind of spider? Like a house spider or like a wolf spider?
It was like this big. It was black. Okay. I don't know. She's just like, meh! And then ate it, and I was like, yay!
Is it wrong that no matter where I live, I choose to live the highest I can from the ground just so I can avoid all bugs? Is that a problem that I have deep within? I'm like,
that is one benefit of living in LA, though, too, is that like we don't really have a bug problem here.
That's because they're all dead. They all burn
really
to a crisp. The sun destroys them before they what's going on?
Melted.
I have a lake in my backyard, so I have bugs everywhere. It's great.
Mesquites all day.
Absolutely.
Lake in your backyard?
Like it's
like
a coastal house, like kind of with the lake, just like it's over the fence.
Oh.
You just have to sometimes get a water view if you want to hang out by your poolside.
I'm aware. Wink.
Why would you need a water view if you want to hang out by a pool that has water in it? Like,
well, you gotta have the pool, but you want to be able to look at the lake.
There's
so
different,
you feel like you're in nature.
Yes, different bodies of water you just want to look at. Sometimes a smaller one, sometimes one that has fish. Apparently, I haven't seen them, but my lake has otters.
I don't know.
Don't tell Happily Erin that she will actually show up at your house.
Probably.
She's
otters.
She's already there.
Turtles.
She's already in your house.
I can actually fish in my lake. Actually, there's fish in there.
Have you done that yet? Have you done that?
I've actually, I had 2 friends who came over who did it, and they actually did catch them. But I wouldn't eat the fish. But you could fish them.
Gotta go looking for crawdads.
Yep, you could. You should go crawfish.
Some crawdads.
Bryce seems like the sort of person that would fish.
I actually, when I was younger, I went fishing, and my sister, she threw her pole into the sea.
That's not how it works.
We tried to fish the pole out, and then we got a bunch of other poles. It was a very impressive time. Apparently, a lot of people just threw poles in there.
Lots of people just get angry and threw their poles in that. Those are expensive.
Yeah,
Florida's full of fat fishermen, I guess. So, yeah.
I only ever went out to the water to trap frogs. And
you seem like the kind of person who would trap
salamanders.
frogs when you were younger.
Yeah,
and then incinerate them slowly.
Crawdads, and then we'd boil them and be like, wow, there's not nearly enough meat on this for this to be worth it. That was my childhood.
But it's okay, because I got to torture an animal to death. And
but that's fine. Okay, because, I got to boil an animal.
It was worth it.
Did you wear, like, a hat backwards and, like, a shirt that was too big when you did it and, like, jean shorts that were cut-up jeans and shoes that were, like...
Have you seen me in my normal life? Just imagine a younger version of what I already wear.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to imagine, like, the young, tomboyish Dodger running around like, Daddy, I'm gonna get me some crawdads. Oh boy, like digging through.
That's how I sounded too.
Crawdad is a very silly word, the kind of thing that wouldn't be acceptable outside
It's not
of
what
America.
they're actually called. I don't know what they're. Are they called crayfish?
I thought they're called crawfish.
What they are. Yeah.
Crawfish. Okay, yeah, we call them crawdads.
Get me some
out where I grew up, they're called crawdads.
Did you lay on rafts and and avoid painting fences when you were younger?
Yes.
Huh. Me and my friend Huck Finn, we gotta go down the river. Do you have a friend named Huck? And you and Huck would go on wild adventures?
Totally. That was my life. The book is based off of my life, actually.
But
they thought that a female protagonist wouldn't sell, so.
Right, it was back in those days, so they were just like, nah.
It's like, plenty of racism, totally fine.
Yeah.
Female protagonist, that's going too far.
Yeah, we can't have a woman.
Not for us. No, we're Americans. Anything else you've been playing this week, Cry?
Honestly, I just started playing. I never actually got to play before. I played like maybe an hour when it first came out, but I just started playing Metal Gear Solid 3 the first time.
Okay.
That's a good one.
And
Snake
that's
Eater.
pretty good. It's fucking hard because there's no radar in it like on the other Metal Gear games. So I am doing terribly. And I decided to play it on hard for the first time, which was also a
Ew.
bad idea.
Why?
Yes, I
Because
that would be right.
I'm dumb. I'm gonna admit straight up, I'm not a smart guy. Okay? Like I don't mean to do these things, I just do them. And I'm also doing a Crisis Core because that game was the jam, but I have
Gone
bad
right back to
memory.
PSP for some reason.
I I don't do things smart, man. I just went over this. Why you gotta question this shit?
PSP
It's
had
just-
some fucking great games on it. Like
it
I
did.
think
It did.
it was a criminally underrated handheld. There were a lot of really good titles on the PSP.
Really was. And there's no love for it. And then the Vita is getting even less love.
Oh, the Vita's a disaster piece, which is
Mhm.
unfortunate because it's a really nice machine. Like,
Yeah, the
although-
hardware's awesome.
Yeah, it really is. Really nice screen, absolutely beautiful UI design, everything like that. It's really cool, and all you get now are Japanese
Now, what are you
video
talking about?
games. Yes,
Want to play Monster Monpiece?
yes.
I don't
You want
understand.
to rub some anime girls, then you can definitely do that on the Vita. Really, the Vita is just a PSP emulation machine at this point for a lot of people. You can download. I downloaded a ton of PSP games onto the Vita and played them, and it's like, yeah, this is great. I'm getting to revisit what I didn't have previously because I never had a PSP. So
I mostly use it for Binding of Isaac, to be honest. Just to zone out and play sort of endless games.
See, the thing with the Vita is I feel like if Monster Hunter wasn't a Nintendo only thing,
Yeah.
the Vita would be a perfect place for it.
Well,
as
yeah,
opposed
I mean,
to
PSP had what 3 versions of Monster Hunter on it, like, and one of them is considered to be one of the better ones. Monster Hunter Freedom Unite was on the PSP. I remember playing a little bit of that when on the Vita. I just bought it on there through the PlayStation Store. And of course, you got Persona. You can play Persona 3 on it. You can play Persona 4 on it. I mean, really, it was a Persona 4 machine for a lot of us. We bought it just to play Persona 4 Golden. And
Totally.
then after
That's
that
why
was
I
done,
bought mine.
Yeah,
Yep, same.
and after that was done, I'm like, okay, well,
I don't
let's
even know
wait
where
for
mine
more
is
games
anymore.
to come out for it. And then, surprise, surprise, no video games for it.
Yeah. The Wii U luckily is getting some games though. I was worried the Wii U was gonna follow the same thing as the Vita, but it's getting some things at least.
Wii U's doing okay. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, mostly
doing
doing
better.
okay because of Nintendo. I mean,
Yeah.
there aren't that many third-party developers that are actually working with it, but the Nintendo first-party studios and the stuff that they're making is worth having it for.
So glad they're actually doing something now. Thanks, Nintendo.
Yeah, it did
You're
take
the
a
man.
little,
Thanks,
little while.
Nintendo.
That's about it. That's about it. We're done.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So the chat's like, the Vita's got a lot of games at this point. Come on. Yeah, most of them are Japanese RPGs. Like,
They are.
They really are. They really are. If you're not into that particular genre, the Vita is not a good buy for you. It's really that simple. Let's look at the last few releases. Oh, okay, so you got Shovel Knight, which of course came out like a year after it came out on PC.
Great
All right.
game though.
Yeah, great game.
Fantastic game.
If for some reason you want to play that on the go, great. But then you've got Hyperdimension Neptunia U, Action Unleashed. You've got Damascus Gear Operation Tokyo, and Japanese game. Things like Takuden Kiwami, which is, for the most part, a kind of Monster Hunter demon clone. Sayonara Umahama Kawasi, Operation Abyss New Tokyo Legacy. These are all, unsurprisingly, kind of Japanese RPGs. Coming soon, we have Onasurgi Plus Ode to an Unborn Star. Guess what? It's a JRPG. Lost
What?
Dimension, JRPG. Dungeon Travelers 2, the Royal Librarians, JRPG. Then a Danganronpa game, which is obviously visual novel. X-Blaze, Lost Memories, JRPG. Norn 9 Var Commons, JRPG. Code Realized Guardian of Rebirth, JRPG. You get the idea? If you like Japanese games, the Vita is great. If you don't, and you're looking for games developed by Western studios, you are not going to find them. They're not being made for that anymore.
It's weird because like it just turned into a JRPG machine.
Yeah.
When it feels like there could have been better platforms for that. Is the Vita like a popular thing over in Japan?
It's
or
more
something?
popular in Japan than it is anywhere else. I mean, it's not doing incredibly well, but it's doing well enough to justify the development, apparently. Because Japan's very much still into handhelds and also into mobile, so the Vita is still reasonably popular.
So the Vita is kind of like how the Saturn and Dreamcast were. back in the day for Japan because they were a lot more popular over there than they were here.
Yeah, I mean, half of the games for the Saturn never made it outside of Japan. The Saturn actually had a huge library, but it was mostly Japanese games because it did way better over there.
Okay.
Similar
That's
situation. Neat. I mean, it's kind of the same with the PSP. You know, the PSP did a bit better in America. Like, the PSP was pretty damn popular in America, but in Europe it was kind of a dead platform. But then in Japan, because it got Monster Hunter, I mean, hell, they have Monster Hunter cafes over there, for God's sake.
Do they?
You know? Yeah. The cafes, yeah, you just go there and play Monster Hunter.
Nice.
I didn't know anybody who had a PSP when the PSP came out.
Well, it was quite pricey.
No one who owned it.
It was not a cheap device. Eventually, the PSP died off probably because of piracy more so than anything else. It became quite easy to pirate games, and it kind of went the way of the Dreamcast as a direct result. It's a bit of a shame, because it was a nice little system, and it has some really great games. You know, if you want to play tactics RPGs, like Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions on that is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Tactics Ogre Let Us Cling Together is fucking amazing. Jeanne d'Arc is incredible. And then there were a couple of really good Ace Combat games on there. Joint Assault and Ace Combat X were both really, really good. And there were quite a few other things. Obviously, the Monster Hunter games, things like that.
I liked
it was nice.
Dissidia also on
Oh,
there.
yes, Dissidia, of course. I played a shitload of that. I never got the updated version of it that had some of the characters from Final Fantasy 12, 13, and 14 in, I think. I really meant to... called Duodecim, I think they called it. Was the second version of it?
I never tested myself either. I'm just going to assume it was good though. I'll just make assumptions.
Well, if it was anything like Dissidia, then it was great. Dissidia was really fucking fun. Like I'm not big into Final Fantasy, but I played a shitload of Dissidia. I love the combat system. This kind of arena combat, and it kind of had this board that you moved around and different events and storylines that all mashed like it was like they mashed 11 Final Fantasies into one game, and they did it really well too.
It was impressive.
Incredible music. And you're playing Crisis Core right now. Like, tell us about that.
Oh. Well, you see, Crisis Core is the prequel to Final Fantasy VII, in case you didn't know that. And it tells the story of Zack, who has black hair and is a lot less emotionally inclined than the Sir Cloud of Final... What? Jesse, what? Tell me, what are you thinking?
Nothing. I love it. Keep going. You're retelling this story is going to be fantastic. I'm excited. Continue.
Okay, well, you see, there is game... What? I just want to know what you're talking about.
There is game.
Nothing. I'm just giving you a hard time. Go.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'm only about like 4 hours in, but it's it's telling like the whole reason like why Sephiroth got all like crazy in 7 and things like that, and it's telling like of characters who aren't even like relevant in 7, like what they did before. It's going through the Turks, which
I was gonna say, do you get some Turks lore?
Oh, dude, yeah, you get Turks. There's like Cisne in there too, and there's like that bald man, and then there's the guy with the red hair. I don't remember his name.
Reno, Rufus, and Elena.
Yep, them.
I don't think Elena's in it. Elena's not in Crisis Core, is she? Because she's new to Final Fantasy VII.
What?
She shows up like,
oh god,
one.
that's right.
Remember?
She's like a new Turk. Oh, dang it.
Yes, Cisne was the
her.
female of the Turks in Crisis
Yeah, they have
Core.
a different Turk lady in Crisis Core.
I personally think Cisne was hot. Just saying.
I'm enjoying watching you run through corridors aimlessly. This is great.
As a giant nerd, I think, Cry, have you played all the Final Fantasy VII games? Even the one with Vincent?
Dirge of
Cerberus was alright. Like, I think that got a bad rap. That was a pretty good game.
That's because the gameplay sucked, but the story was cool. The story was great, but the gameplay was so
the gameplay, if I recall correctly.
Drove me crazy. I was like the camera, you were always like in a wall. Oh, it was a pain in the ass. But the story was cool. Like, I was really on board that Final Fantasy. Like, I need to know all the story parts because they keep releasing new stuff. And so, if you're that person,
yeah, you're a mark for them. Like, there's like, yeah, you're exactly the guy that we're trying to sell all of these fucking spin-offs to.
Here's the thing: Final Fantasy VII, I keep buying games for that shit. Final Fantasy 13, piss off, don't care. 7 was so good.
7 was pretty good. I played that actually last year for the first time, so I didn't have nostalgia glasses for it. Still holds up. That good of an RPG, even after all this time. So I was pretty impressed with it. I mean, then again,
I got a PlayStation. Like,
I did kind of change the victory music to "Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangsta" every time I won, but it was still a good game regardless. So it's not a bad game at all, even in this day and age. I never did play Dirge of Cerberus though. I remember I watched
Good.
Dirge of
Adam,
Cerberus was fun.
You should
It
play
was
it.
very different, but it was fun.
but here's the thing. I watched X Play back in the day, and Adam Sessler said it wasn't that good. So I just
Boo.
believe
It's not
Okay,
You get to
all
play
right,
Vinny.
like-
You get to be sweet, sweet Vinny.
Don't,
Go around shooting
don't
bitches.
trust X-Play. Come
And
on,
Yuffie
say
shows
that.
up in it, and then at the end there's an amazing cut. The last like 20 minutes of the game is fucking badass. Like it's legit cool.
It wasn't super long though, was it? I'm trying to remember how long
like
that
maybe
game
like
was.
a 6-7 hour game.
Yeah, it's not. You could do it in a
Oh,
day.
And then
Find
they have
that
the
out.
weird like post-credit cutscene, which makes no effing sense unless you're into like J-pop. In which case you're like, ooh, makes no sense. At
I'm
all.
into J-pop. I'll do that. Let's go.
J-pop.
Let's hit it, son.
You know,
Oh.
I'm remembering X-Play, and I remember the one thing that I really hated about that. They did there was a series that I really liked called X Beyond the Frontier, which ended up becoming like X2, X3, and so on and so forth. And, you know, there were these really big space epics, like before Elite came out, Elite Dangerous, that is. They were like huge open world space games, and they were a lot of fun. I put a lot of time into them. And they did a 4-minute review of X2, which went by the name of the Cock Threat, which was Khaak. What did they do? They spent 4 minutes making cock jokes and gave it a 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
That's what I
I'm
was
like,
gonna do.
yeah, fuck you. Yep,
Damn.
you could go to hell. You dumb people.
My younger self would be so offended right now because I was such a fanboy as a child. Gosh.
I don't
Oh,
remember
well.
much of X-Play except for like being like, I wonder if Morgan Webb will dress up sluttily today. She never did. She never did.
Oh no!
You know-
How dare she have some integrity?
She
Speaking
never
of-
did. Screw you, Morgan Webb. I came for boobs. You gave me nothing. I had to look at Adam Sessler and try to get off with that. Have you ever tried to do that? Have you ever tried to do that?
Well, I mean, in
No.
his later years, you looked like a penis, so you know, I guess it was okay for some people.
Jesus.
Damn it, Morgan Webb.
Just saying, he had a really shiny head.
Apparently, they're getting together to like do a hosting
They are.
for I think
They
something.
are actually. Yeah, they're shilling for. Is it EA? They're shilling for.
No, they're
I
at
thought-
Bethesda this year.
Oh,
Yeah,
Bethesda.
Bethesda.
They're shilling for.
Sunday.
Okay, yeah.
I'm excited for that. What? We'll talk about that later. Though.
We will. We absolutely will.
Cool, man. All right. Well, I'm done. Go.
All right. Cool. Well, let's start with Dodger and then go to a break in the middle of what she's saying. What have you been playing this week?
Well, I'm still pretty hard into Splatoon.
All
That
right.
game is still mega fun to me.
Have you solved your existential crisis of whether you're a kid or a squid now?
I mean, I'm both. I've decided I'm
Okay.
both.
All right.
So,
I
really
respect
depends.
that. What are your preferred pronouns?
squid and kid.
Okay. Cool.
You're a squid and a kid now?
I'm a
That was
squid
nice and
a
easy to
kid now.
remember. No problem.
I'm a squid. I'm a kid now.
Yeah, the paintbrush came out. That's a piece of shit. People are just the
All right.
worst. Yeah, because like it's like you feel kind of like you're ice skating when you use it, but people like to do that shitty thing again where they just like sit under the ink and you show up and then they're just like no, just like splatter stuff all over you and you die. And that's really frustrating, which is like really the point of the game, but it feels especially offensive when somebody with the paintbrush does it because the paint literally goes everywhere. Like when you have the splatter shot, like the machine gun style, a lot of times when you panic, you wind up just kind of shooting like this, just being like ah, and then you don't actually hit the person that you're trying to destroy because you're panicking. With the paintbrush, you can panic and still be totally fine. You can panic and just be like nah, and the person will die because paint is going fucking everywhere.
I want to point out that
Uh-huh.
your panic voice, the I like
that one.
I'd like to imagine you're doing that for effect, but knowing how you play games, that is how you panic.
That's
you,
even like the toned down I'm on
Yes.
a podcast version of what it would
Yeah.
actually sound like. Yeah.
Yeah, no, all right. I just want everyone to be clear that that's not acting. That is
No, that's real.
Dodger.
That's
She's
pulling
it up.
from real life. I am
Yes.
I am method acting right now.
I see.
Yeah, so that game has continued to be pretty fun. I like ranked battle a lot. Like then the longer that people play ranked battle, the more intense it gets, and the more I feel like I just can't catch up. Like, at least at first, when people were starting out with ranked battles, I was like, I can, like, win sometimes. When I play ranked battle now, it's like, I spawn and I die. And then I spawn and I die. Like, I can't. The people who are doing ranked right now are too intense. Got too many strats. Yeah. But Turf Wars is still super fun, although in comparison, it feels much more relaxed. Like, you can play Turf War and just kind of be like, I'm painting stuff, and you're the other paint color. All right, you're dead, and moving on. It doesn't feel nearly as intense as ranked battle does. Like, they were about here when ranked first came out, and now ranked is just like you have to be in the right mindset for it, I think. But I like both. I'm still using my splatter shot mostly. But I like using the roller. I refuse to use the paintbrush because fuck you, paintbrush users. I refuse.
Is it like the noob tube? Is that what it is? It's just easy kills.
Tube?
Yes, noob tube.
No, I feel like it is actually difficult to use, but it's in those panicky moments when you can tell you like snuck up on somebody. They just fucking splash paint everywhere and you die. And I'm like, how do I get away from this? So yeah,
paint sniper rifle is how.
Still pretty fun. I'm not good with a sniper rifle. I'm also not good with any of the guns that are like, you got to charge it up for a second. I'm like, there's a bad guy. Charge. Oh, I'm dead. I don't know how to effectively use any sort of a charger gun at all. So I'm useless. I need a panic weapon. But I refuse to use the paintbrush. So I'm splattergun. It's my life. It's my life right now. Splatoon's still super fun. I played. What was that? We talked about it. Riddled Corpses. I played Riddled Corpses.
Oh yes, that thing.
That game is pretty fun. It gets a little bit repetitive, but it's like it's arcade style bullet hell. You gain level ups and power ups so that you're more and more powerful and able to destroy more and more people and get that satisfied feeling. But the bullet hell aspects get more and more intense. The problem is that in order for you to unlock things, you have to replay the same levels over and over again. And that's when it starts to feel kind of like, okay, I'm enjoying the feeling of dodging lots of bullets and shooting lots of bullets, but I've been here so many times already. So like in that way, the pacing is not very satisfying, but I like the aesthetic of the game. The options menu is a little bit bare. But yeah, it's good. And I also felt like sometimes the way that it synced up, you have to play with a controller, and sometimes the way that it synced up with the controller was a little bit glitchy. Okay. And I don't know if that was the game or if it was just me, but I've never had a problem like that before. Normally it's like if the game knows you're using a controller, you're gravy, right? And this one, it was like sometimes I would try to select things with the controller and it would be like, I don't know what you want. I was like, what do you mean you don't know what I want? So, the Riddled Corpses, pretty fun.
Fair enough. Let's take a break.
Okay.
Because it is on
the
hour.
He did not lie. He didn't lie.
He didn't.
Hey, I didn't cut you off in the middle of the game. Just saying.
Honesty.
Wow.
We'll come back after the break and we'll talk a little bit more about what you have been playing this week. We got plenty of things to talk about this week. Thank God, prior to E3, because God knows there's no news. You're watching the Co-Optional Podcast. Don't come anywhere. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Co-Optional Podcast. Resume the dodgering.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what I was going to say next. Talking about Splatoon. Talked about corpses. I did the Dark World stuff from Towerfall, single player. Fuck that stuff. Look, so everything before that, you could kind of like figure out the pattern. The pattern was always the same. So the way that for single player, for those of you who don't know, for single player, the way that it works is you go to a map and then it cycles you through different areas of that map, and the monsters always spawn in the same places. So if you've played it enough times and you're like me and you're like, I'm gonna beat the whole thing hardcore mode without dying, you can sort of just, where people are gonna spawn and you can kill them pretty fast. In the Dark World stuff, everything is randomized. So you don't know who's going to show up. You don't know where they're going to show up on the map. It's a shit show. It's very difficult. Really fun though. And in terms of like how it rotates the map, like before it would just be like, you're on, there's 5 waves and you're on the 3rd wave out of 5. And this time they don't tell you how many waves there are. You just beat it, you beat like the first wave and then it creates like a portal and you have to jump through the portal. And at a certain point you reach a boss. So each of the different levels for Dark World have like a big boss at the end. The bosses are pretty simple. The mechanics aren't like too difficult that way, but yeah, it's fun. It's nice to have more content for the single player stuff since I've spent so much time on that before. So the aesthetic's cool. I like that there are bosses at all because really the only other boss that we had was King's Court. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to have new content.
That's fun, Dodger.
It's fun. It's fun to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun to have fun.
I know none of you guys play Towerfall, so
I would if there was like some kind of online component. I just don't have friends.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't have friends around me.
Oh,
That's
single
why-
player. Do the single player. It's so fun.
But is it really though? Are you actually having fun or are you just lying to yourself?
I'm having fun. I like that stuff.
Okay.
You see,
All
this
right.
is why Duck Game is better than Towerfall.
That is a good game.
Fucking
That game was just like okay
Duck.
to me.
Just
we talk about how-
okay.
Can we talk about how fun it is that literally 5 months ago I had Duck Game videos up? No one gave a shit.
Because it wasn't on Steam. Who cares?
TB
Oh,
says-
it's
TB
great. We
says
can
Duck
play it
Game's
on
amazing.
Ouya. On Ouya. Yeah. All right.
TV
Great.
says Duck Game's amazing. The internet's like, did you hear about Duck Game? Guys, did you hear about Duck Game?
It was on a
Duck Game's
platform
great.
that no one owns. It's like, oh, I played it 5
I-
months ago on Ouya before it was cool. Yes,
I
like the
called
7
it out
people
there.
that own an Ouya were very grateful for your coverage. But outside of that, no.
They were-
Of course
they were
it's going to
really
matter
proud.
more when it comes out on PC. Of course it is.
They were very happy.
Honestly, I'm surprised Ouya is still a thing. I didn't even know that was still a
Totally
thing.
is.
Didn't they just
It
put their
totally
company
is.
up for sale? I'm pretty sure they
Yes.
did.
Did they really? Holy
Yeah,
shit.
so.
Oh damn.
Is anyone actually gonna buy that shit?
No, because it's garbage.
Yeah, the
congrats
Ouya is
to
pointless.
Kickstarter.
What? Sorry, what did you just say?
Congrats to Kickstarter. Congrats.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Did they
Kickstarter
buy
made a lot
Ouya?
of money off Ouya. They were the only ones that did. Incidentally, Adult Swim Games is currently in the chat giving out free Duck Game codes, so enjoy that. live
Ah.
Your
Yeah.
game was just okay.
listeners. And you never get code again. Oh no, I'm sorry. Duck Game is absolutely fantastic. Like it
It has a quack button.
It has a quack button.
dedicated quack button.
Yep, it absolutely does. It's the same thing I said in the video. It reminds me of a mixture of Smash, Towerfall, and WarioWare.
Mhm.
You got to adapt very quickly to the levels, very quickly, because as soon as you die and you go, someone wins the level, it immediately goes to the next one. It's like, go! I'm like, whoa, got to figure this level out. What does this gun do? I have no idea what's going on.
You have to be okay with dying because you're gonna die a lot, and
You
if
will.
you're like a salty person, you're gonna hate that game so
You can
fast.
die in like 2 seconds in that game.
Yep.
Very, very easily.
It's a good time though because like there's this one head in that game where it's called Senpai, where it's like an anime duck and he winks at you every time he quacks with like a sparkle behind him. So after you win, you just like wink at the screen. I'm just like, it's so good.
It is
Best
such a
game.
fun game.
I run around with there's a jazz duck one that I like. That's really, really fun to use. That game's a hell of a lot of fun. Frankly, I'd recommend it to pretty much anybody that's interested in either local or online multiplayer madness. I mean, that is the one thing that Towerfall was crucially missing, which is why Towerfall did shitty on PC. Like, come
I
on,
expected them to, with Dark World being like an expansion, I expected them to employ that in the game, and they didn't.
Yeah.
Which surprised
apparently
me.
that game has done okay on consoles as a result of it being a local multiplayer only game, but it's done absolutely shitty on PC. And sorry, if you're gonna make a game like that, I think isn't Crawl another game that's local only that
Yeah.
I ideally wish wasn't? It's
I
like, God,
wish it
I'd
wasn't.
play the shit out of that game, but I can't because it's local multiplayer only.
Yeah, just local co-op does not work that well on PC games. It's hard to actually get people around a computer like that.
Yeah, It's nice to have as an option, but it should always just be an option and not the only thing that you can do for multiplayer.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's
just
life.
not good. No. Duck Game, on the other hand, has online multiplayer, and it's great. It's really, really fun.
Thanks,
of
Adult Swim. You actually did good. Proud of
They
you.
do good quite a lot.
They do.
They've
They
done
do.
a lot of interesting games.
Oh, damn.
Now Dodger's starting beefs. She's learning from the master.
Well, they did good for games that have not done good before, like other games like that needed multiplayer. They actually included it, unlike a bunch of other games that have not.
They've
So you did
published
good in that
a lot
essence.
of really interesting titles, because they did Super whatever the hell that thing is, the ninja game. Here it is. Yeah, Super House of Dead Ninjas. They published Volgar the Viking, which is great.
That was great.
Mega
Fucking
Coin
great.
Squad. They did publish Fist Puncher, which sucked. But
Oof.
they also published Westerado, which is apparently really good, and Jazz Punk, which
Desperado's
is
fun.
Jazz Punk was neat.
Super
That was
Puzzle
neat.
Platformer Deluxe. That was great too. They put out. They seem to like focus on really interesting games. Like they're very, very picky about which games they publish, and I like that because there's a lot of publishers just like, yeah, we'll just put it out. They're like, we have a specific sort of vision for our brand that we want to try and maintain, so we're not going to just put out anything.
The vision is fucking weird, and I like
Yes.
that.
Weird
It
woohoos
works.
and wows.
That's
It's
what a
got
good
those three
company means.
things.
Mhm.
Take it.
I hate you so much.
See, they need to do an expansion of a duck game called Duck Cells, which I think would be absolutely fantastic.
Mhm.
That
could
would
do-
be cool.
D4, Dank Ducks Don't Die. They could do that too.
You can just put on your
Dick
hamburger
ducks
head like,
don't
let's go
die.
fight some monsters.
Yeah.
That would be actually kind of neat. Like a few like themed levels, like of just like Dark Soul themed levels with
I'd
like
dig
Dark
that.
Souls weapons or something.
That would be a good expansion, I think.
That would be cool.
Just an expansion which is purely parodying other games. That
Mhm.
would
Yeah.
be pretty great.
Yeah, I'd like that.
There's a lot of quacking going on in chat, unsurprisingly.
Quack, 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 quack,
Yeah.
quack.
Yep.
That's all you do when you win. When you kill someone, just go. You
Just
want to
quack, quack, quack. Or you do the best
Oh,
taunt
it's
you
like a
can do
Mario
is you
Party.
jump off the level and then you flap to stop yourself from falling, and you get the point just before you die, and that's the best taunt you can possibly ever do.
Actually, I'm a big fan of like right as that you won, you do a slide and then you wait, and just before it goes, you quack once, and it works.
We had someone do
think
the
about it.
moonwalk at one point right into a mine. It was just perfect. I don't even know how they pulled it off. It's crossed with Dynasty Warriors, as chat suggests, called Duck Dynasty. There you go.
Ah,
Oh
yep.
God,
That worked out
Yep.
pretty well.
bearded
Quack, quack,
ducks.
quack, quack, quack,
All right.
Yep.
quack,
Hotline Duckburg. Okay. You see, now this is getting a little silly. Duck Z. I'd play Duck Z. Absolutely. It's got to be better than regular DayZ. Can't be any worse. Anyway, I've hijacked the stream for long enough to talk about Duck Game. Let's go back to you, Dodger. What else have you been playing?
Towerfall, so fun.
Yeah. we
Excellent.
get it. You like Towerfall. Can we all agree that both of those games are better than Samurai Gun, though? Can we all agree on that one?
Nope.
Yeah, Samurai Gun is fun, but it's not as good.
There's no depth. Like, it's like, we took a kind of part of Towerfall, but we forgot the rest of it. I'm like, right.
You do get to. I mean, I like that you have a gun and a sword.
Yep.
Like I like that.
But where are the power-ups? Like, tell me where the power-ups are.
TP. Where are my fucking power ups at?
Yeah.
Well,
What fun is
It's
Yeah,
all
no, that
about
doesn't
it's
have
all
power-ups.
about skill, TB. You don't need power ups in a game of skill.
Yeah, I disagree strongly with that assessment.
There's still no online multiplayer, so it's still not fun. There, I said it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Evidently. Anything
Still.
else other than Towerfall?
I think I'm almost through 2.4 on Final Fantasy 14 Endgame. And that's been super fun. I'm trying to make all the way through before Heavensward comes
When's
out.
Heaven's Sword coming out?
In 8 days, I
Ah,
think. If you pre-order.
June
If you
20
pre-order, you get in 8 days.
okay.
You get in a little bit earlier than everybody else. But yeah, that game continues to be very fun. I took a little break from it, and now I'm back in real hard, just thinking to myself, I need to get all my work done so that I can go play Final Fantasy. I like it though, like story-wise, the story has just continued to be interesting, you know, and it doesn't stagnate at all, which I think is really good. You don't I mean, there are definitely quests where you're like, why am I doing this when there's more important shit happening that I need to get to? But I think that's with every MMO.
My only experience with that game was tuning in to see Strippin and JP getting married. I think it was. That was.
I was there.
That was lovely.
I gave my best man speech in my underwear.
Good.
Yeah, I've glamored all of my clothing to look like leopard print underwear and a necklace. So when I'm in dungeons, I look really prepared.
You are the kind of person that I would have absolutely hated, just despised to play with if it was World of Warcraft.
Yep. I show up in dungeons, I'm like, yo, what up? I'm your white mage. I'm just a tiny cat boy in underwear.
You'd probably do alright in Star Trek Online. Like, the end game of that game is literally just playing Space Barbie, like making your character and your ship as shiny as possible, so I think you dig that.
That sounds like my jam.
Yeah.
Is there a shiny stat you can, like, grind out or something like that?
It's more a case of, like, in order to get the really rare costumes and stuff, it takes a shitload of effort. Currently, there's a summer event going on Risa, the Pleasure Planet, and there's a bunch of, like, mini-games. You can go on, like, hoverboard racing and do all sorts of shit like that, and you can get, like, custom hoverboards. There's a Targ-themed hoverboard, which costs a shitload of tokens to get. People are just wasting time on that, running around in fucking swimsuits as Klingons and shit. It's really weird. I just avoid that place. It's silly.
There's a mount that I really want. This is like the first time that I've been like, maybe I should just take a day and like try to grind it out, get that mount.
That's begun. That's my wife's gaming in a nutshell.
Yeah, because when you're a white mage, one of the mounts that you get is a unicorn. You like save this unicorn and it's like, you want to be best friends? And I'm like, yeah. And then you can ride this unicorn around and like all of this really pretty music plays while you're riding it. But there's like an alternate form of the unicorn that you can get from grinding out one of the primals, like one of the big bosses, and I'm like, I want it. It's got like
2 horns,
pink fire hair and shit.
Oh,
huh? No,
I was just asking about it. Okay, we're fine. Neat.
It looks so cool. It looks like an evil unicorn, and I want it.
It's got to the point where the missus has played so much WoW. I think she's got like 8 level 100 characters or whatever it is.
What? That's too many.
8 max levels. She's doing like all the pet battles, leveling up all the pets, getting all the mounts, doing all the achievements. Like literally just a complete completionist. She's just broken off it for a little while to play Witcher 3, and I have a feeling she's going to be a completionist in that as well. So she's going to be taking a while to get stuff like that done. But I was never that person in MMOs. I could never be bothered most of the time. It's like, oh, that's going to take a day to grind out. You know what? I can do with my regular horse. I'll be fine. I don't need that. Just fine.
Yeah.
The only
want a
game
party horse, that's all.
I've ever cared about the achievements for was Ori and the Blind Forest.
Okay.
That game
That's a good
actually,
game,
it's
man.
actually
It's a
fun to play.
Nightmare. It's difficult.
It is very
That water
difficult.
level. Nope. The water level I will never play again.
It's a
Absolutely
satisfying
not.
difficult though. That's like rare for games these days. It's just it's hard, but it's so rewarding when you actually do get it done. It's fucking great.
It's like
I enjoyed that game. It is like Dark Souls, but it's beautiful.
It's a pretty game. There's no doubt about that. It's very Metroidvania-esque, and I'm not really into that. And there's a lot of precision platforming involved in it, which really put me off it, which was a shame. But I mean, that's just the kind of game they wanted to make. You got to admire the aesthetic, though. It's a really, really beautiful game.
Yeah, it's kind of rare to see that kind of look on games.
Yes, that's very true. It's one of those games where it's doing the whole 2.5D thing, but it looks very much hand painted. It reminds me of Trine, actually, in that respect.
Yeah,
it works really well.
It did. I was just really happy that the game didn't suck dick.
Yep. That's a good attitude to have when it comes to gaming, I find. It's like, wow, that game didn't suck dick. That's great.
All games are into 2 buckets. Either sucked dick, did not suck dick.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, the dick bucket is quite full right now.
The dick bucket is filled with dicks.
My dick bucket overfloweth. You know, it's... Oh, dear.
Yes.
Oh, dear, video games.
But I think that's mostly all that I've played that's new. I'm pretty sure. I haven't touched Ark. And I still haven't touched D4 either. I really wanted to try that out.
God,
You were trying that out.
I played an hour of it on stream. I'm none the wiser. Let me put it that way.
It doesn't get
It's
better.
like a fucking weird game, right?
It's
like
very
super fucking weird.
strange.
Mhm.
We sat down and had this conversation about Boston crab, and it was just this is no Boston accent that I've ever experienced. I don't know what is happening. There's a cat girl in my house, and I don't know if she's real or not. Like, there's this
I
fat
want this game
detective
so badly.
that's helping me out. I run out of stamina all the time. Like, literally moving around my house, I become exhausted. Like, this guy is unfit. There's no doubt about that. There's unfit motherfucker.
That's the
odd.
only
Okay.
game I played on the Xbox One is D4. I've never played any other Xbox One game. It's well worth it. Good job, D4 machine down there. Thanks for being worth my money.
I want to play.
Wait,
that
but
game.
is D4 worth it? Do you think?
Oh, D4. As of right now, with nothing else after it, not at all. It ends on the
No?
worst cliffhanger.
Yeah, apparently it's a big cliffhanger ending, isn't it?
I was so upset with that cliffhanger. I'm just
All
like,
the
okay,
reviews are
cool
so
shit's
good
going on.
it, though.
Nothing. Well, the game itself, the journey through it, it's fucking weird, but it's like, it's weird in that sense of, did I take anything in that drink that I just drank that I didn't realize it was there? And then you play it, and then you realize, no, this game's just weird. But it's not bad. It's just, it could use some fine tuning in some points. The gameplay itself is kind of clunky, but the story itself is interesting enough to keep me going along.
The camera control and how you move around is really weird. It's almost like a strange point and click. It reminds me a little bit of Heavy Rain, except Heavy Rain made a lot more sense. And that takes a lot, you know? A David Cage game making more sense than something else, that's rare.
Yeah,
very rare.
That's true. I mean, I understood when he yelled Sean. I didn't understand the Boston Crab.
Jason?
Well, Sean and Jason. He yelled both names. But true, Jason was a more prominent yell. I agree with that.
Press
Good
X
point.
to Jason and press B to Quack. Perfect game.
There we go. Heavy Rain spinoff in Duck Game.
Yeah.
Get it done.
Absolutely.
You throw Jasons at each other.
Ducky Rain.
Jason is a weapon.
And then you throw one of the weapons as a car. That'd be so fucked up.
God, why? You are fucking wanker. Oh my god. Press X to cry. Oh Jesus. Oh dear. That's
What about
awful.
Ark? Have any of you played Ark?
No.
What? I've just seen Strippin play it, and it just seems like
Yeah,
a
I
Strippin's
watched
fucking
Sam
obsessed
play
with
it
it.
constantly.
He
Can I,
is.
can I tell you something? Sam has told me numerous stories at this point. All of them sound 1, amazing, 2, fantastical, 3, like the coolest fucking thing ever. The minute I turn it on to see people play, I'm like, this is none of those things.
Welcome to every
all the
survival game ever. Like,
all
all
the
of those
stories are like-
stories.
Oh, we were like raptors and we were running around and then this eagle came out of the sky and then fell in the ocean. Fucking megalodons came after me. And then I watched the game and it's like a dude hacking wood. I'm like,
Yeah.
That's the thing is like those incredible moments happen once every like 6 hours, and the rest of the
Yes.
time they're force feeding berries to dinosaurs to try and tame them, and that's the game, right? Is like, I want that dinosaur. 6 hours later, that dinosaur's mine, and I'm like, was that worth it?
That's the
As
problem
a
with most
person who
survival
lives in
games.
that
Is
house.
95% downtime and then 5% action, you know?
Yeah. And like for somebody like Sam finds that very satisfying because he's like building towards something, you know, and then he's like, I worked for this. Like, look at my base. I built this base. I worked for it. And I'm like, yeah, but it spent you like literally all day and nothing happened, you know, and that's not a satisfying gameplay experience for me. But I know
Same
a
here,
lot of
yeah.
people who have been super into Ark right now. So
The only interesting thing I've seen in Ark, I tuned into Sam's stream last night for a little bit, and he was in a cave, and it seemed like a dungeon of a cave, like, you know, like a WoW dungeon. You're just like exploring this cave. There's like snakes on the ceiling dropping down on you, like giant anacondas. There's bats. There's spiders, and just like there's all this like, it just seemed like that's the end game, and it seemed like if that's the end game, it's got potential, but it's just not polished enough yet.
Yeah, well, that's
So-
early access, isn't it? You know, it's all
Yeah,
about
it
potential.
is.
I'm sorry, I'm watching Angry Joe's video on stream right now. It's literally him standing around doing nothing, which I think is a very good representation of what survival games are actually all about. So It's like, does anything happen if I skip forward? All right, okay, now he's attacking what appears to be Brontosaurus with a slingshot, which is a terrible idea, all things considered.
I mean,
oh, no, he killed him with a slingshot. Of course he did. That's realistic.
Yeah, that's
for an
the
early
part that
access game, it does look really nice, though.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
at this point, it already looks great. And I like that you can actually have a lady body if you want. Reign of Kings was like, ladies are hard. So you just had to always be the same looking dude.
Well, the animations are
this
just
game
too
gives
hard,
you
right?
a lot of span of how you want to make your character, which, you know, in a game where you're going to be spending most of your time just by yourself doing things, you might as well love yourself, right? So.
Oh, we're back to standing around again. Yep, this is survival game territory.
I like it. I lied. I'm sorry.
I'm a big old liar.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I know JP was playing it as well, and I tuned in. It's like I watched them build a house for about an hour. I'm like, this is boring. What the hell?
There's just it's like the market's too flood with that kind of stuff, you know?
And none of them are done yet.
Yeah.
That's the thing. There's one finished survival game. Don't Starve.
Which one?
That's it.
Yeah,
That's the
true.
only one. All the rest of them are still in early access. And people seem to jump from game to game. Like, Reign of Kings was popular for a while, then Ark came out and replaced Reign of Kings. Before Reign of Kings, it was Life was Feudal. Before that, it was H1Z1. And then before that, it was like it was DayZ and Rust and...
Rust was in... Yeah, like, the resurgence of Rust was somewhere in the middle of all of that, too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, people just played a bunch of random shit, like 7 Days to Die, and then some of the even worse stuff. I know, what was that free one that came out? It was kind of a...
Unturned?
Unturned, yeah. That was popular for about 5 minutes, and then...
That's actually still really popular, by the way. Just because it's free, though, but I saw,
no
like,
one
on the
streams
thing...
it, though. It's not like,
It
it's
had,
not a
like-
popular streaming game.
Yeah, true. There was, like, 30,000 players at the time I looked at the thing. Like,
Yeah,
just the other day.
Really? That's,
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking people. To be fair, I mean, Unturned seemed a bit more popular and, like, complete the most. Yeah, currently it has 15,000 players. I mean, it helps that it's fucking free.
Yeah,
I would not want to play that, because I would imagine the average age range of people that play Unturned is pretty low. It's like, no, I don't think so.
It's for people that want the experience.
I'm actually lying here by saying that I'm the sort of person who doesn't like a game where you have to just slowly build something up, because I fucking love Harvest Moon, and that's exactly what that game is like, do you want to grow crops for years and make your house bigger and better and have people fall in love with you one day? And I'm like, yes, I love games like that. And I don't know why it doesn't transfer over to games like Ark or H1Z1. Like, those just don't capture my attention the way that, like,
because they're
Don't Starve,
multiplayer
too.
and someone could fuck up your shit? Like, is that going to
There
do
might
with
be
it?
that like, yeah, maybe I don't like multiplayer ones, because I also like Don't Starve.
Which is
Maybe
primarily
I just
a
like
single-player
knowing
game.
that it's just me doing my fucking thing, right? And I don't want to. I don't want.
Wow.
Like every time Sam and I are like, "Hey, let's go get food," he's like, "Wait, I have to hide my body, or somebody's gonna kill me and take my shit." And I'm like, "That's not fun for me." Like, the fact that he can't just be like, "All right, yeah, let's go eat." He's like, "Hold on, I need like a half an hour to find a safe place to hide myself." And I'm just like, "Do you?" That doesn't sound fun.
Not exactly, no. That would have been fun when I was like 18. And now I have responsibilities. I'm like, I don't want a game where I have additional responsibilities. I want to be carefree when it comes to stuff like that. Cool.
Cool,
That
man.
about it?
Yeah. Speaking of Don't Starve, I put up a video of Sam and I playing.
Yes, you did.
And my mom literally just texted me. She said, "You guys are so hysterical together. What a great video, except for the F words."
That's
Oh.
my mother watches this podcast sometimes and keeps telling me to stop swearing. I'm like, you realize that's never gonna happen, right?
Yeah, my mom's always like, "Honey, why you gotta
You're-
say things like
You're
that?"
better than that.
My
Yeah.
mom gave
Yeah,
up
that
on
good
that
old
years
thing,
ago.
yeah.
Hi,
I was like,
Mom.
I'm
Hi,
not.
Mom.
This is what you gotta understand. I'm not better than that at all.
It's just I grew up like learning that like no one cared about what I was said in my like household, so it's just hard grained into me now, or hard grained. That's not even a word. Hardwired. That's what I meant to say.
I don't think that's a real
Yeah.
phrase. I think you made that up.
I thought so. I did. Yeah.
You might-
Yeah. It's part of me. Like I don't like say swear words just to be like I'm cool and I'm an adult and I can say what I want to say.
I
it's
do.
just he does. absolutely. You just offended people. But it's just like a speech mannerism for me now. I'm terrible if I like got to go like work retail or something, because I'm gonna let it slip all the time. People are gonna be like, "How could you? I have a 7-year-old child."
This is
You
the one time of
dick.
the week where I get to just, say the word dick over and over and over again, and that's totally fine by me.
Yeah.
Dick.
See, he said it.
Dick.
It's great.
Dick.
Dick.
It's it's good to get that out once in a while.
Hi, Mom.
Just loop that and make that your ringtone, by the way.
Dick.
Dick. Dick.
There's a few guys that are called Richard out there. It's like, that will be ideal for me.
Did we just make an ASMR?
We did.
Ooh.
The dick.
Wait, hold on. You have to talk from the side. Like,
Simmer.
You're just getting nice and close to the mic. Dick.
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 Dude, we're like
We're playing
tripping
dick
people
game
out right now.
Okay, quite enough of that. Jesse!
yeah.
Have you been playing anything that's not Heroes of the Storm?
The only thing I played this week are stuff that I played on my channel. So literally everything on my channel is what I played this week because I slept 90% of the time.
Okay.
I played Jotun, which is a cool, fun indie game that is in super alpha,
That thing, yes.
or as I like to call it, Jotun.
Jotun.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, you play as this badass Nordic Viking chick trying to get into Valhalla, and in order to get into Valhalla, you have to kick the crap out of Jotun and Jürgemander and all sorts of stuff.
Yes.
It's
that,
a really cool game.
that famous god Jürgemingi.
You know, this the world serpent. And so it was a lot of fun. It's a game that is super early alpha. It's all animated, like hand-drawn animation, and it's very, very cool. And I had a ton of fun playing it. If you want to see that video, it's this week's Greenlight, and it was a lot of fun. I think it's cool. I'm not a fan of the giant world serpent that pops through the ice that tries to eat you, because you're walking along and out of nowhere it's like, nope. Not a fan.
Pretty game. That is a very nice looking game. A lot of work's been put into that. Don't know about the gameplay, but it looks pretty.
Other than that, I have literally done nothing except sleep and take NyQuil. NyQuil. It's what you take when you need to sleep.
True.
In some
But now they've got ZQuil, the non-habit
That's
forming
stupid.
sleep aid.
That's stupid. I want habits. Habits.
Yeah, non-habit
habits
forming. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm like, how? Exactly.
We
No,
will
thank
see
you.
about that. Well, I played some video games.
Oh, dude, really?
Go on.
I didn't even know you played video games.
Sometimes
I
I
heard.
play the video games from time to time. Duck Game, of course, was one of them.
No way.
The other game that I've been spending a lot of time on, there's been, you know those phrase, maybe you don't know the phrase because, this country isn't really big on buses, but there's no buses for 3 hours and then 3 come at once. It's the same, that kind of applies to 4X space strategy games. Like 3 of them came out in the course of like 2 weeks, which were Star Drive 2, Star Ruler 2, and Galactic Civilizations 3. And they all have a slightly different way of doing things.
Okay.
In fact, a very different way of doing things. Like Star Ruler 2, I'm still trying to get my head around this game. It seems interesting, but it does everything so differently and in a way that's not really intuitive if you're used to the genre, to the point where you really need to learn what the hell's going on with it. Like, the ship design screen is impenetrable. I went into them like, what is happening here? There's a bunch, I think there's a colored grid, and there's a bunch of menus, and I don't know what's going on. So that was a bit confusing. The way that the building spaceships work is intriguing. You build a capital ship, and then a bunch of support ships come and kind of form a fleet around it, these tiny little things. So you can have a capital ship, and then there's like, here's 200 more ships that go with it. And then you move them around as a fleet, and they all have big battles, which is kind of neat. The way that the economy works is you have to level planets up. So you start off with level 0 planets, and then it's like, this planet needs food and water in order to level up to level 1. Then it needs this kind of resource to level up to level 2. So you have to colonize a ton of planets to kind of support a few big planets. So your star empire might be like 40, 50 planets, but only like 5 of them are really doing anything. Everything else is just like, we're a water planet. All we do is water. We export water to you. That is our role in life. And you sort of set up your economy chain that way. It actually reminds me a little bit of the Settlers, funnily enough, just in a much more obtuse and weird way. It's a very high concept space game where you're really managing a space empire instead of micromanaging a space empire. You're looking at it from a very kind of high level. So I'm still trying to figure it out. There's some very odd stuff in that game, but it looks like it has some potential. But the one that I spent the most time on was Star Drive 2. Which is a sequel to a game called Star Drive, obviously, which I did like, but it ended up being unfinished. And there was a couple of reasons for that. One, it was developed by one dude, which is impressive, because there was a shitload of stuff you had to do with it. But secondly, the guy who made the engine for the game stopped updating the engine. And apparently the engine wasn't that good, so the game didn't perform very well. So once the guy stopped developing the engine, the guy that made the game was literally fucked. Like, he couldn't do a thing. So he abandoned Star Drive 1 and made Star Drive 2. So a lot of people got really pissed because he abandoned Star Drive 1. But really, according to him anyway, he didn't really have much of a choice because the problems were engine related and there's no way he could fix them. So he made Star Drive 2. Problem is, that game doesn't run very well either, and that game's got a ton of bugs and a ton of problems. But they took away, or he took away, a lot of what was really interesting about Star Drive 1. Star Drive 1 was real-time, which was neat because not a lot of 4X games are real-time. Most of them are kind of turn-based. So he made it turn-based, which is not as interesting. And he made it so that battles don't happen on the galaxy map, which they did in Star Drive 1. They happened kind of on a separate map. So you go into a fight. But those fights are really fucking boring. Because they take a ton of time, you can't accelerate them, and there's no tactics involved in them whatsoever. You literally just whack your fleet against the other fleet. The only thing you can really do is, go attack this thing. And that's really about it. And it's like, we're going to wait about 30 seconds for them to get into weapons range, and then they're going to stand off and shoot at each other for a couple of minutes.
So what you're saying is, it got vastly worse.
In many ways, yes. And Star Drive 1 had some really cool stuff. Like, you could actually control your capital ship. Like, you could directly take control of it and fly it around yourself, which was really neat. And you could, like, I'm going to maneuver around shots and do broadsides and stuff like that. People are claiming Star Ruler 2 is real-time. That is not really true. It is a turn-based game, essentially, but you can hold the button down and the turns will advance very fast. So, if you're arguing it's real-time when it's not, I think you're very confused, but Star Ruler 2, which is the other game, is real-time. But yeah, this Star Drive 2 thing, it's got a lot of problems. I ran a game where I just couldn't get anyone to like me. Every empire fucking despised me.
Damn.
Nobody like me.
They hated me. And my race had the repulsive feature, which means they're not very attractive. So I was like, oh, okay, diplomacy is going to be difficult. No, diplomacy ended up being impossible. Because as soon as one guy declared war on me, every time I destroyed his ships, he got really pissy about it. But it's like, you're the one who attacked me! And I'm looking at the tolerance level, and it says, minus 500 tolerance because you attacked us. It's like, no, you attacked me. So they're like, oh, your relationship with this guy is minus 500. They hate you. There is literally no chance of you doing anything to solve this. Because building it back up, just not possible. I tried infiltrating them with spies to spread propaganda to make them like me. Turns out, not even worth doing. Because every time they catch a spy, they hate you. And they catch your spies a lot. So they catch your spy, and it's like, oh, we caught a spy. You're an asshole. I'm like, but I was just trying to make you like me.
But
They won't trade with you because they hate you. I tried to, all right, I'm going to give them gifts. Well, one, it barely helps. And two, that's only if your own government and people support you giving them gifts. And they don't. Because they hate them as well. Because these guys have been taking over our planet. So it's like, oh, you can't give them a gift because your people hate them. I'm like, how do I fix that? They hate me. I hate them. I can't solve this problem. So what was happening was we were getting into
like the
perpetual
Middle East.
wars. Every time, like, I destroy enough
So
of his
real.
ships, they'd say, oh, we'll be peaceful with you for 25 turns. And then as soon as
So
25
real.
turns expired, they immediately declare war on you again. And it happened over and over and over again. I was stuck in this perpetual cycle of just building just enough ships to survive. I'm like, this is a stalemate. Nothing's going to happen. This is pointless. So I had to abandon
American
that.
Nation shows up.
Oh god,
like,
I had to
"We'll fix
abandon
it."
that game.
Yeehaw!
So everyone thought you were the dick, but in reality, everyone else was the
Everyone
dick.
else was the dick. Yeah,
Nice.
I couldn't figure out how to make anyone like me with that. It was just a nightmare. As soon as you start off at a war with someone, unless you finish that war, you're not going to be able to ever be friends with them again. It's just
Really? You can't just have like a sit down?
nope.
Like,
Just
yo,
won't
dog,
happen.
Peace, maybe.
Yeah.
They just won't do it.
Yeah,
That
so
sucks.
the diplomacy system's kind of bullshit. Like, this tolerance thing is ridiculous. I wanted to make a trade with someone. Like, your government doesn't support you. I'm like, I want to trade technology. It's like, no, government doesn't want you. It's like, I'm the fucking ruler. What the fuck? How do I fix this? I don't even know. There was all sorts of other shit. Like, I was refitting a bunch of my ships, and they invaded one of my planets, and I lost my entire fleet because they were busy refitting. So they're just like, I guess we'll just sit this one out. I'm like, I have a fleet here. It's not even going to try and fight? Like, can I not use the old versions of ships? No. So the ships just disappeared. They vanished. Like, never to be seen again. So that was fun.
Sounds so much fun.
Oh,
I think
The
you're
vacuum
lying
of
when you
space,
said that was
man.
fun. I think that was
It
sarcastic
sounds
right there.
so much fun.
Ugh. Yeah,
Peace is
it's
lost
got
amongst
problems.
the stars.
It's and like I said, like Star Drive 1 was really original in many ways. Star Drive 2 is really just similar to Master of Orion, but not as good. So I'm like, well, I'm going to keep playing for a little while and then do my video on it, but it needs a lot of work. Like, it's got this ground combat system, which you thought, oh, maybe it's like XCOM. No, it's like a really boring version of chess. Like, you move your guys and then you shoot and it's turn-based and super clunky and awful, and it's... Oh, no, it's not fun. There's a lot of ideas in that game that just don't work. So, that's a bit of a disappointment. That's what I spent most of this week playing.
Oh.
A disappointment. I spent most of this week being disappointed.
Yeah, pretty much. Most of this week playing disappointed.
If you're looking for a tactics game, have you heard of Chroma Squad?
I played that a few weeks ago. Very good. Very
That
good
is
game.
a very good game. I really
A
enjoyed
lot
that
of fun.
game. Good stuff. Just throwing that out there.
The theme
you
is
know-
really nice.
Did you know that
Mhm.
TB's initial phrase about buses is a common term called bus bunching?
Mm.
And it's also part of chaos theory. I Googled it.
What?
Bus bunching is chaos theory from Jurassic Park. It's true.
Wow.
Because the buses are supposed to be on a fixed schedule, but that fixed schedule is an impossibility, judging by the time and date and destination of the buses, which is why it happens all the time. There's always more than one bus going to the same place at the same time. It's chaos theory.
Are you saying TB is a dinosaur?
That's what I'm getting at.
He
Okay.
means a dinosaur.
Woo! Confirmed, everybody. Canon.
Oh my god.
I don't want to
headcanon.
spoil the new movie, but when they're like, we bred a new dinosaur and it's eating
It's
the other one.
TB.
TB. It's TB.
Oh.
It's true. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for this knowledge drop, man. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. He's like, FOV sliders. Oh god, he's a monster. This 4X game was boring, so I played it all week. No!
Why are you the worst? Why?
Someone has to be.
TB, you're such a clever girl.
Thank you for that.
Goofs.
You're all
good.
awful
good.
people. I just
Very
want to point
good
that out. I did reinstall Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
Because, hey,
Wow.
Fallout 4. I'm like, I guess I should maybe reinstall Fallout New Vegas. And because I played it when it first came out, and it was kind of buggy, to say the least. Played a decent amount of it, but didn't finish it. So I was like, it's been out for years. I'm sure it's a lot better now. And it is. And there's a lot of really nice mods for it. I started installing mods. I'm like, I'm not sure when that's going to end. It's like, well, I just need one more mod. Just one more mod. I like improve the texture quality, improve the skies. I put in a weapon modification. There's this big mod called Project Nevada, which is apparently really, really good. So I've started off on that, and I am running around as an Asian lady with purple hair that has really good gun skills. So she just goes around shooting,
Basically
solving
Maggie.
problems through violence.
Are you Ghost in the Shell?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
Ghost in the Shell,
Yes.
right there. Solving
Cool.
problems with energy weapons. It's perfect.
Neat.
So yeah, I'm busy playing a little bit in New Vegas from time to time. Played a bunch more Dirty Bomb this week. That's I like that. It's a good game.
I've heard of that game.
Yeah,
heard of that last night.
is pretty good. It's a lot better since they changed the free-to-play model around. It used to be very weird and random. Like, the only way that you could advance your character... It's not so much advance your character, because it's not traditional, like, leveling up progression. You start off where you have access to a small number of weekly rotated classes. And classes can all kind of do the same thing, but there's a few differences. Like, everyone can kill people, obviously, but if you're a medic, you can revive people. If you're an engineer, you can defuse and plant objectives like bombs quicker than other classes. I think those are kind of the two main... Oh, yeah, there's another class type that kind of drops ammo, and there's several of each class, so they always make sure that there's at least one of those available in the free rotation. But... the game's based on loadout cards, which give you different weapons, and they also give you different, like, minor perks, like 20% less flinch, or you get a warning before artillery gets dropped on your head, and shit like that. And the way that it used to be is the only way you could do it is by spending in-game currency that you earned by playing the game to get a loadout crate, which would give you a random card. And it could be for a character you didn't even have unlocked, which was super stupid. And... it would give you various rarities. So the rarer the card was, the more kind of abilities it would have. And that became a bit bad because it was really hard to progress properly. They changed things around a bit so that you only need bronze rarity cards now to get all 3 abilities. And you can also, for in-game currency or real money, buy any loadout in the game for, like, whatever. So, if you want a certain set of weapons with a certain set of perks, you can have them, no problem. All the randomness is taken out. But the random case thing is still there for those who want to do it, because it might be a cheaper way. It's like, it's much cheaper to open crates than it is to buy a loadout, but the things are random. So, it's like just a different progression path now. So, that system is a bit better. It's a little odd, certainly. And some people will be like, well, why can't I just do this? It's like, well, you can, but there's other ways to do it. And some people seem to be misunderstanding it. They're thinking that the only way to progress is through crates or by buying elite crates, which is completely wrong. They're also thinking, oh, well, I need a cobalt rarity card because that'll be the best class. No, anything past bronze is literally purely cosmetic. So there's no difference whatsoever. So a lot of people got confused about that.
It's kind of like with like a trading card game. It's kind of like buying a booster pack versus a structured deck.
Pretty much.
So, okay.
Yes. That's how I would describe it. It's like, you know, it's nice to have different loadouts, but ultimately most of the guns in the game are pretty damn competitive, including all of the basic guns. Like, everything's a side grade in that game. Like, if you get the sniper, you start with this bolt-action rifle, which is like a one-shot to the head. But I prefer the semi-automatic sniper rifle, but that's not a one-shot to the head. It does less damage, but obviously it's got a bit more tolerance for error. So I think that most of the guns are pretty damn well balanced, and most of the classes are as well. So I think that a lot of people are misunderstanding how it works, and as a result, I think that they're getting a bad impression of the game before they play it. I encourage people to give it a shot, because it's a really fun shooter. I like the multi-stage objectives. Like, there's one level where it's plant C4 to open up a train track, then blow up a blocker carriage, and then a giant train comes through the level and runs over everybody. And then it breaks through this wall, and then you go and take these data cores, and you have to take them to a helicopter. And, like, it's this giant level where you move through it, so you're always in different parts of the level at different times. You never go back to the old part of the level. So it's the same way that Wolfenstein Enemy Territory worked, and Quake Wars and things like that, because it's by the same developer. So it's pretty fun, actually.
Yeah, that sounds neat.
I like it. And it's free to play. And the gunplay is pretty fun. There's a wide selection of characters that can all kind of do different things. So I would dig it. I'd play it. I'm still playing it. I played quite a bit this week, and I enjoyed it a lot.
So you're saying there's not just one good free-to-play shooter out there. There's 2 now.
What's the other good free-to-play shooter?
Generally, people like to say Team Fortress 2, but...
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was a loss leader when they made it free to play. They're like, we just want people to use Steam. We're going to make it free. And it turns out they were able to make money with it, but... yeah, I like...
fucking hats, man.
Lots of hats, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think Dirty Bomb's good. It's currently in open beta on Steam, and it's free to download. So I would give it a shot. I don't see any reason not to. I think that even like the cards with the perks really don't add that much. It's not like you do more damage. They don't have a perk for that. So you don't get it. You get these tiny little edges over people, but it's still ultimately just a game of skill. So if you can't shoot, you're gonna suck. It's that simple. But it is a fun game. I'd give it a try personally.
Muted.
Yep.
You were muted.
Totally.
Which might
What I
say
all
said
those
was
jokes.
hats is what
Oh.
I think
Oh,
I
okay.
said. Well,
Good
muted.
input.
well done. Yeah,
Thank you.
fantastic input.
I don't remember
That was
anything
essential.
else that I would have said that was useful. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
hats.
Has anyone else played anything else, or are we about done with stuff that we've been playing?
Hold on, let me
Yep.
look at my phone.
I think so.
Oh, no one cares about your awful phone games. Nobody
my mom
cares.
says she loves me, potty mouth and all.
What?
Wah, wah.
I love you, mommy. No, I've only been playing Bonza on my phone.
What is
So.
Bonza?
Bonza is it's a
Damn it.
crossword puzzle game where like the crossword puzzle is finished, but then they take it apart into like 2 or 3 letters at a time and just like scatter them everywhere, and you get a clue. So it's like, this puzzle was about butts, and then you can be like, all right, let's see, glutes. Yep. All right, we can put them together to make glutes. Or how about posterior? Oh, yep. There are pieces to make posterior, and you try to like turn it into the finished crossword puzzle that's been sort of scattered. It's really fun. Sam and I played a lot.
Okay.
I played it a lot at the laundromat because that's where I was all of Saturday.
Yay. The only phone game I've been playing is called Dig Run, which is, it's like one of them like matching like tiles games, but it has like the aesthetic of like Mega Man Legends. So that's kind of my thing, because like pseudo anime shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I don't know, man. It speaks to my inner child. Kind of like how booster packs do. Man, I love booster packs. I never know what's going to be inside. It's like a Wonder Ball.
Always fun to open things.
I know. I love opening
Yo,
things.
have any of us been watching people just lose shit tons of money on CSGO stuff?
Oh, absolutely. Of course.
like every time JP links me to somebody just like doing crazy shit with their money, I'm like,
I choose not to watch Nova's every single one of his videos where he just drops $12,000 on
Just
yeah,
opens
they're like,
crates.
no, it's fine. I'll make it back. It's fine. I'll make it back. It's fine. It's fine. And I'm like, it's
I choose not to
fine.
watch
This
those.
is
This
literal.
shit is
It's
not
literal
fine.
gambling. Literally,
Yeah.
it is gambling.
It's
That's
gambling.
there's
The
no
addiction
two
is
ways
so
about
real.
it. That's all it is. The what was it? I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, I was watching Giant Waffle open crates in Dirty Bomb. The devs gave him a huge amount of in-game currency to do it with, and he was losing his shit because he wanted a Cobalt rarity, and it is almost impossible to get a Cobalt rarity card. Like, they are incredibly rare. Not that they give you any in-game advantage; it's pure cosmetic. But he was getting a ton of bronzes and things like that, which are the best you can get in terms of abilities. He's like, no, I want silvers and golds and cobalts. I want the shiny stuff. He does this for like 2 fucking hours, and then he takes his bronzes and makes them into fucking silvers. Like, he throws away a bunch of perfectly good loadout cards, because you can take lower level loadout cards and combine them to make a higher level card. So he throws away almost all of his good loadouts to make shitty silver cosmetic cards. I'm like, what are you
But
doing?
silver is better than bronze.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
man.
but it isn't.
Baby.
It's
This
not
is how it
though. It's
works.
not.
I don't
Fine,
think
fine.
you understand
Then-
minerals.
Then from now on, you can be the 3rd best person on this podcast. If it's bronze.
You think you're the gold standard, really?
No, I was gonna give it to Dodger so the internet would love us more, and Tumblr would think we were cool.
Wait, so is
You're
Cry
the
the
best.
0.4% cobalt?
Yes.
Cry's
No,
cobalt.
Cry.
I'm gold.
What?
Yeah,
I'm a
Brian's Cobalt.
non-factor here.
Dodger's gold because thanks, love us Tumblr. I'm silver because I'll always be second. I'm right where I belong. And TB's bronze because bronze is better than everything else. So he says, perfect.
And Cry's the
Hmm.
0.4%.
You know, at least in Dirty Bomb you can get in-game crates for in-game money, whereas with CS:GO, it's literally like you have to buy all of them. Like it's literal gambling, because they're trying to get fucking shiny knives that they can sell and make a profit on. It is literal gambling. There's no other way to describe it. And people love watching that shit. It's interesting that we can't play Hatred on Twitch, but if we want to watch fucking Soda Poppin' or whatever play real blackjack
Oh, God.
in front of
that-
30,000 people and gamble away actual money, we can watch that. No problem
It's
whatsoever.
fine. I'll make it back. It's fine.
Yeah, we can
fine,
watch
I'll
that,
make
or
it
we can
back,
watch
I'll
people
make it
open
back.
CSGO crates and waste hundreds of dollars on that. But, oh, you want to play Hatred? No, that's going too far, bruh. Can't do that. Or BMX XXX. Can't have those PlayStation 1 boobs. Oh no. Those big square boobies. Absolutely unacceptable. Twitch.
Lara
Ridiculous.
Croft, though.
Dude,
Yeah,
Lara Croft. Gosh darn.
With the
Those
cones.
boobies.
My
the cones.
Those triangles of boobs.
I figured out that's exactly how she managed to kill dinosaurs. She literally just impaled them on them. Just did spiky things. Just thrust herself at her. There you go.
Goodness.
That's one dead raptor right there.
Yeah.
Dude, she must have played Ark then, I guess, huh?
That's how you do it.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, good.
That's absolutely how you do it.
Huh. Thank
also,
you for
if
that.
you buy knives in CSGO for like $300, you're very strange. I want to know who's buying these things. I really do.
Just,
Nice.
I feel like
Very odd.
there's probably some like weird market where like you can sell this for like real money.
nope.
No? There's no?
Nope. The market is people for some reason really just look at Krendor. People really enjoy watching people spend their money
I don't get
on
it.
crazy shit. Like, I'm gonna open boxes. Nova can
Opening
sit there and-
packs used to be a thing for Hearthstone. Like when Hearthstone first came out and when Hearthstone's expansion came out, people were getting hundreds of thousands of views just opening packs. That was it.
Don't get it. Don't get it. I don't get it.
I am not noticing the appeal.
I just realized there's also a huge following for FIFA packs.
Yeah, I've heard about that as well. Same difference, right?
What do you get in a FIFA pack?
I don't understand. Apparently,
Little
Rare
soccer
players
balls?
and shit. You get rare players. Like they have this sort of ultimate season mode, and I mean, I believe there's a literal buying power involved in it and stuff like that.
yeah,
I'm just saying, you can afford to open boxes when you have a video called Counter-Strike Go unboxing 436,000 views.
Stop rewarding
saying.
this behavior.
You can afford it. You can
You
afford it.
deserve better, viewers.
You really do. Yeah.
You don't. You decided to watch that.
Yeah, 3
You
days
don't
ago,
deserve
Uber
better.
Hacksaw Nova opening
deserve
up
better.
boxes, 332,000 views. What the shit? This is
You don't
12
deserve
minutes
better.
of this. 12
You don't
minutes
This
of
is
deserve
this.
as a
better.
person who's playing games that aren't actually games on my channel, and I still think that those videos are trash. Like,
You don't deserve better. You got what you got. You watched it. You enjoyed it. That's your Batman.
that's what I tell
That's-
my own viewers all the time. This is
Yeah,
exactly what you
You
deserve.
want better, but you don't deserve better.
Catboys and lesbian nights. This is what you've asked for. So maybe we're just all the same.
You know, I
in
didn't
the
think
end.
you could get lower than unboxing videos, and then we discovered virtual unboxing, which is, it's not even a real box! You ask what's in the
Yep, you don't
box, it's like there is no
actually get
box.
but it's a nice model.
Yeah, that box though.
The polygons in that shit.
Just love getting the box.
Jesus. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll be talking about what little news there is, and of course, our speculation for E3. You are watching Co-optional Podcast. Don't go
Yay!
anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the final hour or so of the Co-optional Podcast. Let's get whatever news there is out of the way before we start with the E3 speculation, shall we? There's not really a great deal, although there's been a couple of little announcements coming through the pipeline. Just, I guess there's a few companies that really want to get their stuff out prior to E3 so they didn't get lost in the flood. I don't really blame them for
Understandable.
that. Yeah. And for instance, we had the announcement that there's a 1 terabyte version of the Xbox One coming out for $400. Apparently, it has a new version of the Xbox One wireless controller, although I don't know exactly what the difference is.
Yeah, what? Does it have a
What?
picture? Does it say anything about it?
Well, unfortunately, there's a video, and I can't really, I can't really, obviously, listen to the video while we're on the stream at the moment. I'm trying to find an article about it. Apparently, they have made some change to it. I think it just looks different by the looks of it. It's like a Covert Forces edition, which has got, like, slightly different colors on it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I don't
see the difference.
Mine's just fine how it is. I don't think it's good.
Yep, pretty much. There's claiming that there's like some sort of new feature. I'm trying to figure out what this new feature is.
It says that it has a new headset jack in it.
It's got an audio jack in it, like a
Okay.
normal
Yeah.
audio jack, and it didn't have that before. You had to get like
Right.
an extra piece that you would attach to the bottom.
Okay. And apparently
Oh, that's literally it. That's the update.
Apparently they tweaked
That's
the
the
bumpers as well. They slightly redesigned the shoulder stuff, and that was about it. So nothing too crazy, certainly.
Yeah, I'm not known for my awesome online gaming through consoles, so that doesn't really affect me. But to the people it does, that's probably a huge thing.
Maybe. I like the current one. I think it's fine. You know, it's a decent enough controller. It does the job.
Yeah, I mean, I just use it for PC games. I don't even. Yeah. That's about it.
Same here. It's like it's slightly better than the 360 controller. You know, it has a better D-pad, which is really all I wanted out of it because everything else about the 360 controller was fine. So yeah, there's nothing too wrong with that. There's going to be a limited edition of the PlayStation 4 released in Europe, which is the Metal Gear Solid.
It looks
5.
so cool.
It's a red one. It does look nice.
I like that not like dark maroon color.
Yeah,
it's like
a maroon,
one of my favorite colors. I love that crap.
Yeah, it looks classy. I'll give them that. Admittedly, you also put it under your TV and never look at it again, so I'm really not convinced. Some people literally will buy those things when they already own a PlayStation. Like, I'm just going to trade in my old PlayStation for this. Like, why? It doesn't do anything different. It just looks different.
Oh, that's 3DS people. There's a lot of those people in this office. No comment, but there's a lot of people in this office who have like 15 3DSs.
Oh,
no comment, Gerard. No comment.
Oh, dear.
To be fair, I really wanted to do that for the PSX PlayStation 4 that they had. I think it was like last year. There's only like 500 versions of it. It looked they had the same color scheme as the original PlayStation. That looked really cool.
Yeah, but the amount of money it costs for something like that's crazy. Like that was a crazy thing.
Yeah, it wasn't worth it at all.
No,
But
not at all.
I mean, like, look at it. It was cool, man. I don't know. It's just something to ogle at, I guess.
They rely on people like you to sell those things.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like those little figurines you got there, Jesse, on your desk.
Amiibos.
You know, those little kind of like amiibos, just more useless.
Yep.
There you go.
I'm
See?
totally useless.
Exactly.
Yep.
You know, they're not.
Amiibo.
It's just something to look at.
Totally useless Blizzard amiibos. No, I agree. No, I can't say shit because I have a special edition Star Wars Xbox 360 behind me back there.
Yeah.
And when you turn it on, it goes.
To be fair, I do have a Halo 3 Xbox, which it was the first one they put out with the HDMI. It didn't used to have HDMI support. It used to be component only. But that was the first one, I think the first Falcon model that had that. But I discovered, I was setting everything back up because I wanted to go on a little bit of a JRPG binge and play like Lost Odyssey and things like that, that it doesn't even have an optical out. Like you have to buy this little dongle to make it work with optical audio. I'm like, wow, this thing really is old. Oh dear, oh dear.
At least it looks kind of neat, right?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, there's that, yeah.
Yeah, it's like my Xbox is probably about 7 years old at least. I never got any of the new slim versions or anything like that. They also... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just... What was he pointing at? Wait, where are you pointing at?
Xbox. I was trying to show
pointing at his Star Wars Xbox.
Can we see it from here? I can't see it from here.
See it?
Oh, no, and yeah, sorry.
Wait,
Oh,
hold on.
Lion
Maybe
King.
you can hear it if I go like this.
It's got the little blue lines and stuff.
Huh.
You hear it? No.
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 Also, and a C3PO controller?
Oh.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, that is actually
a
really
terrible
gross.
controller. Holy shit.
It is. Yeah, if you're
Fingerprint
wondering,
magnet.
like, hey, Jesse, where'd you get that from?
Up a little bit.
Uh-oh.
There
If
you
you're
go.
wondering,
Cut
hey,
off
Jesse,
WN.
where'd
There
you
you
get that from? The answer is...
That didn't help.
King of the Web. Wink. Thank you, King of the Web, for giving me a $500 gift card GameStop.
I gave my gift card away to someone that I think now hates me. Never
I
mind.
forgot King of the Web was a thing. Jesus.
Yep.
Yes, it
Me
was.
too. I was thinking about it the other day.
I
Yeah.
literally bankrupted the company. It ran off with
Yeah.
all the money. It was a pretty bad idea. Like,
Yeah,
their
absolutely.
business model made no sense. It's like, we're going to give you money. Okay, how do you make money, though? We're not sure. All right, then. I guess I'll take your money, but I don't know how long you're going to be around for.
You're popular. Here's money.
It was a very, very strange thing. What is that website like now? If I go to King of the Web...
Is it still up?
Is it?
Not found CFN005. Okay, I guess not then. That's a
With
shame.
that said, though, I'm really good friends with Megan, who was the host of that show.
Yeah,
I hope
so
she
cute.
landed on her
Megan's
feet after
wonderful.
that. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, we gave a lot of money to charity, but simultaneously, I had no idea how they were actually going to make money. And I don't think they did either.
I asked them that from the beginning. I was like, I don't know what your guys' plan is, but
Yeah, they
whatever.
actually asked me, like, for some ideas. I'm like, well, this is like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you can't allow people to buy votes. Like, I actually suggested this sort of system where you turned it into a kind of game. You like kind of progression. You know, I remember Progress Quest, that game where you literally did nothing. Turn it into that was vote related. So every time you voted, your character like fought a monster or some shit and leveled up, and you could buy like cosmetic items and fight other players. Like, turn it into some kind of metagame. Apparently, it was rebranded as CreatorRepublic.com.
Yeah, I was looking at their Twitter.
Yeah. Which, unfortunately, the chat has now crashed by visiting all at once. God damn it, chat. I didn't...
Oh, well.
What is that? What is it? I mean, it's just... It seems to just be a list
like an
of...
MCN. It seems
is
like
it an MCN?
Network. Yeah, that's what seems like.
Yeah, it's just like a list of YouTube videos right now.
Yeah, it's a yeah. From what I'm looking at, what I'm reading about right now, it seems like it's a network.
Fair enough. Oh well, never mind. RIP. They are releasing, finally, a wireless adapter for the Xbox One controller for PC. It's going to be out later this year. $25 for the adapter, and you can get it with a controller for like $75 or something like that, which I believe is the cost of an Xbox One pad, isn't it? I mean, they're not cheap. They're
like $69. Yeah, they're really expensive.
You know, I actually went to buy a DualShock 3 a little while ago, and I was surprised by how expensive they were. They're still like $45 to get one of those things. I was like, wow, really? Like, for a PlayStation 3 pad? Yep, that's how much it costs. Xbox One wireless controller is $50, and that's down from $60 on Amazon. So, yeah, I mean, you know, you're paying about the same as you would be otherwise. Huh. But
I don't know. I feel like a wireless Xbox controller is going to be... I'm going to feel the same way about it that I feel about wireless mice. Or I'm like, what if that just stops working and you're in the middle of a game?
Yeah, that can be a thing, definitely. I mean, honestly, I just have a long USB cable I just plug mine into. If you're sitting at a desk, you don't need a wireless controller. If you're sitting on a couch, I can definitely see a reason for that. They are a little bit pricey. There are rumors that the wireless adapter may only work with Windows 10, which would be a dick move.
Wow.
And since it's Microsoft, I fully expect them to do it.
Oh my god, today I got like 20 emails from 20 different companies like, yes, our product will work with Windows 10. I'm like, oh Jesus. It's starting.
Well,
I have the little thingy in the bottom right corner being like, you want to get Windows 10? I'm like, I'm going to wait just a little
weird.
bit.
I never got that. I bought a full version of Windows 7 Ultimate, and I never got that notification. So
Me too,
Really? It's
actually.
like it's literally it's a little Windows symbol in the menu with like your sound menu and your
it's based
internet.
off your updates, TB. If you have everything updated in Windows all the way to like you have all their download update things, then it'll pop up. If you don't, it's like,
oh yeah, I'm apparently missing a couple, so that might be why.
Same here. Oh well, I don't think I'm missing much.
I mean, to be fair, I'm probably gonna update to Windows 10 pretty sharpish. Like, I'll just dual boot it to start with to see what happens, because I mean, you know, it's easy enough to set up dual boot. And then if there's any problems, I can just switch back to 7 for those games. But
yeah,
from what I understand, Windows 10 will be great for games. You know, DirectX 12, you need Windows 10 to run it. So you don't really... If you want to play top-end PC games, you don't really have a choice but to upgrade to Windows 10. So, I mean, I'm fine with that. Whatever. Windows 8 kind of sucked. It's always every... I'd say it's the odd numbers, but they skipped Windows 9. But it's every other Windows that's worth getting.
Yeah.
You know, 8 was pointless, but 10 is looking pretty good.
Why did they skip 9 again?
Something in the coding, wasn't that like the big thing? Because they had Windows 98 and Windows 95, and
Something
so like in the coding, the Win 9 was a problem, so they went with 10. That's what the rumor was. I don't know if it's true, but that's what the story was. I will say I I had a nice time playing around with it at PAX East, question mark? I don't remember when the hell it was. And it's way better than 8, like infinitely better than 8. And they brought back a lot of things that I liked, but it still has a lot of things from 8 that I'm just like, I know you guys are pushing this shit. I get it. I know you want these apps and stuff.
The store and things like that. I really don't want to have a built-in store on my operating system. That's not what PC's all about at all. You know, I guess thankfully it's PC. The chances are you're going to be able to disable this thing about 5 minutes after it comes out, you know? Yeah. But still, it's like, come on, why would you do that?
They keep hyping it. I don't believe it will ever be true, but they keep hyping the fact that your Xbox, you'll be able to get access to those games through your computer if you have an Xbox,
which is
in the same network.
Completely pointless. Like
I was like, why would you ever do that?
Why? Yeah, if it was the other way around, you were streaming from a powerful PC to your Xbox on your TV, that would make sense. The other way around, the only use that I can see for it is you can stream your Xbox to like a Windows tablet or some kind of like low power laptop. But for those of us that have decent desktop PCs, that feature is ultimately useless. Completely useless.
Though it might be, assuming you can, it might be an alternative way to record an Xbox One if you don't have a capture card.
Yes,
It's a fair point.
Yeah.
Yep. I actually think you can do that. Like, I'm pretty sure it's built into Windows 10. It has built-in capture functionality. So, if for some reason you want to do that, then sure. If you don't want to buy a capture card, that is a fair point. I think that's like the one thing. It's a pretty niche thing to do, obviously, but Microsoft and many console guys are trying to push it not being a niche thing. You know, I mean, hell, the PlayStation 4 has a share button, for God's sake. Everyone's all about sharing video now.
Oh, I love that service.
Never press that button.
PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4
I accidentally press it all the time.
Still amazing. PlayStation 4's video service still the best. If you want to see crazy shit at 4 a.m., PlayStation's video service, turn that on. You will see some things you've never seen before. You'll be like, what the shit is this? It's people getting high and like chicks stripping and like dudes like, oh my god,
using the using the weird like PlayStation app that lets you like put things up on the screen. Basically, they use it for like podcasts and stuff. And there's apparently some really fucked up shit in the middle of the night on there.
My favorite one to this date is this big, beautiful black woman just like stripping, dancing. She might be like 60 years old. It is great, dude. It is so funny. I was like, this lady gets it. The chat is like freaking out, and she's like, I'll dance for you. And I'm like, yeah. Everyone loves it. And then she plays games. I was like, I get this lady. I get this lady. Flawless.
She knows what she is.
Yeah, they're dudes who like sit around in circles and smoke weed and like make tornadoes with it. Oh, it's crazy. And that's like the video. And they blast loud techno and just for like hours. And people watch like, yeah, let's see the dude with his shirt. Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? PlayStation, you've nailed it. You've nailed it.
Everyone's just incredibly high. All right.
It's PlayStation in a nutshell. So, a couple of other things. The Fallout 4 will not be coming to older consoles, so no 360, no PS3 version. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 will be, though, which makes sense. I mean, I'm kind of glad that Fallout 4 is not coming to those consoles, because that sounds like a massive waste of development time, and God knows what they'd have to do to that game to make it run and how much it would affect all the other versions. But it makes sense for Black Ops 3 when you've still got a big install base on 360 and PS3, and most of it is for that game only. So it does make sense that they're still releasing that on the older machines, but there's actually been very few releases. I don't know if people have been keeping track, but there's very few releases now for 360 and PlayStation 3. There just aren't that many. PS3, the last 3 games that came out for it were over the course of months. Like, there was a fighting game from Axis, which is Under Night in Birth XE Late, which is the dumbest name for a game ever. And Atelier Charlie Alchemist of the Dusk Sea, which is a Technocore game, which came out in March. And then Escape from Dead Island, which came out in November of last year. That's pretty much it. And, like, there's one other JRPG, The Awakened Fate Ultimatum. And that's pretty much it.
So you're saying it's a dying platform?
Oh, yeah, pretty much. I mean, it should be, right?
It's
It's about time. So they're still releasing some stuff. Mostly Japanese stuff.
Well, how long? Indeed. How long did was PS2? How long did games get released after the next gen came?
Quite a bit longer than this, I think. Actually, but I think it's the last PS2 game to come out was. Let me find out what I think it was a Pro Evolution Soccer game, and it came out several years after. Let's see, when was the last game? I'm just looking it up now. 2013. Actually, it came out in 2012, but yeah, September 25th, 2012, Pro Evolution Soccer 2013 was the last game to come out for that system. And FIFA also came out on the same day, too.
Huh.
So the last real game to come out for was Sakura Wars So Long My Love, which is like in 2010. Everything else was just junk for the most part. There's like a WWE game that came out quite late, but outside of that.
When did PS3 launch and all that stuff? I forget what year.
PlayStation 3?
Yeah, when did that launch?
Was that 2007, 2008, I think?
So that had like another 3 years in its lifeline then, the PS2.
PlayStation 3 was launched on 2006.
Wow, okay.
So it had 6 years more out of the PlayStation 2.
That's crazy. PS2, you old gun. I wish I knew where you were.
The old BB.
Yep.
Yep.
Apparently
PS3.
Persona 5 is coming out on PS3. That doesn't surprise me at all, because the Persona games always have legacy support, don't they? Like, Persona 4 came out on PlayStation 2. I know that. Didn't it? Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did.
You don't need a,
It came out
a
on
big
pretty much
rig to
anything
run
that they could put it on.
Gotta get your
Because-
animes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it did.
got
Like,
the
there's no Persona game, except for the Persona 4 Arena fighting games, that's available for PlayStation 3. Persona 4 came out in 2008, 2 years after the PS3 came out, but came out on PS2 instead. And then they put Golden on the Vita. And they didn't put a single real Persona game on the PlayStation 3, for whatever reason, which was a bit weird.
That is weird.
Eh.
Huh. Well, there you go. So yeah, I don't think most of us will be missing Fallout 4 on PlayStation 3. Frankly, it's like,
Yeah.
Dang.
if you want that
Guys.
sub 720p experience, no, not really.
All the Fallout 4 drama about the main character.
What,
And I'm
there's
like,
drama?
we don't even
Wait,
know
what?
that it's the
Wait,
main
what?
character because the dude in the trailer speaks.
Oh God!
And so
is
they're
this
like,
one of
wait,
those internet
so
things?
there's like the big conspiracy right now is that the guy who's at the end of the trailer is the same guy who's in the beginning of the trailer, but in the like past flashback. And so they're saying, oh, well, maybe this is like the reverse side of Fallout 3, and you're a dad looking for your family. But that would mean that you have a set protagonist, and since he talks at the end of the trailer, you would be a set protagonist with voice
Those
acting.
voices.
So you wouldn't get to like choose your character, which would be very different for the series. But we don't know that that's the guy you play.
No,
Like that
we
hasn't
don't.
been confirmed at all. I don't know why everybody's freaking out about
No,
it.
people are freaking the fuck out about it, and it would be extremely unusual for a Fallout 4 game not to have full character customization.
Yeah, and like don't get me wrong, I would love it if the vault in this one is like cryogenic freezing, or like his brain was put into a robot or something like that. Like I'm totally down for that.
Well, there were vaults that were pure men, and there were vaults that were pure women as well. Like there's some pretty horrible shit in Fallout. If you dig into the lore, there's one vault which I think was 1,000 men and 1 woman. Like which
Yeah, that was a fucked up vault.
you can imagine how that went.
I mean, they were all experiments, right?
Yeah,
So,
they were.
like,
So they were very, very much fucked up. Like there were vaults literally designed to kill the people in them because they wanted to find out what would happen. So
Thanks, science.
every Fallout game up to this point, including I think Tactics, which wasn't even a real Fallout game, and I'm pretty sure the Fallout games that were on console, which were actually action RPGs, I'm fairly sure that they all had some level of either character customization or the ability to pick a male or female character. It's extremely unlikely that Fallout 4 would be the one that didn't do that. And even then, even if they do have a voice protagonist, there are plenty of games that have voice protagonists that also allow you to pick a female character. I mean, for fuck's sake, there's like 8 different female voices you can have in Dragon Age Inquisition. Shitloads, you know. It's not exactly a small budget game. I'm pretty sure they will be fine. It's unlikely that they would.
And dog meat's in the trailer.
Yeah, you
we get
gotta
Mad
have
Max
dog.
dog.
Mhm.
Everybody's
Yeah.
like, COD dog lived. COD dog lived through the apocalypse. I'm like,
Absolutely. The only worthwhile thing to come out of Call of Duty Ghosts. Well, there you
think
go.
about it. Dog meat was in Call of Duty, and then that's where dog meat came from. Entered into Mad Max world, and then eventually into Fallout.
God, he just gets around.
Dog meat, he knows he knows how to live.
Yep. Yeah, so I think that's probably a whole bunch of hoo-ha over absolutely nothing, really.
What?
What?
On the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hoo-ha.
I'd be
Over
stupidly
nothing.
On the
surprised. I'd be
internet?
really surprised to see that. I don't think that's going to happen.
Hoo-ha
I would be
over
surprised, too.
nothing.
I love hoo-ha.
Anything else on the news front? Not they announced the new Masters of Orion game, and I'm a little concerned about that already because there's there's over 20 buildings and 100 technologies. I'm like, hang on a minute, that's like half of what the last game had. I'm like, this, and it's by like a studio that's not very well known. So I'm like, oh no, we're giving a legendary franchise to a little known studio again. I don't know how this is gonna go. I'm a bit worried. A little bit worried. It's developed by an Argentinian studio, NGD. It does apparently have members of the original Master of Orion team involved in some way, but God knows in what capacity. NGD Studios has made they made Bunch of Heroes, Finn and Jake's Epic Quest, and Champions of Regnum.
They did an Adventure Time game. You're in good hands.
Yep.
Isn't like every Adventure Time game except for Card Wars awful, if I recall correctly?
They're usually kind of mediocre, yeah.
Oh dear. Maybe not the studio I would have personally given that to. Oh dear.
Maybe they just, now we're fucked.
No, that's probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
Did Dark Souls 3 get confirmed?
It's been ramping up over the week, and now they have what are being called leaked promotional images for E3, but we
Nothing
still
is
don't have like an
confirmed yet.
actual confirm of anything. People are just at the point now where they're like, Dark Souls 3 definitely happening, but we don't have confirmation from software at all.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there were a bunch of supposed leaked screenshots. I'm looking at the image. IGN went with the leaked promotional image. So it seems like it's likely, but when this was leaked last week, it was literally just one website saying, I have a source that says this. It's like, just one source? Yeah, just one source.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll wait for real sources then.
Yeah,
but
there were, the No had like a ton of images that they were saying were leaked images for Dark Souls 3. And I know that, I think a couple of people have claimed to be contacted by them with like hey, we have something super secret to show you at E3. So now everybody's like, oh, well, it's probably Dark Souls 3.
Definitely looking like it's confirmed at this point with the amount of stuff that's leaked out.
Don't turn it into Assassin's Creed. Why are you putting out 3 so fast?
I'm surprised they're just making another
Dark Souls 2 DLC.
Why can't they just make a different kind of Souls game? I mean, Bloodborne, for all of its faults, was at least, very much different to Souls. And even Demon Souls had a bunch of different mechanics and ideas in it. And that's like, oh, Dark Souls 3. I'm like, really? I mean, can't we just, have some other Souls thing?
Yeah.
Nah.
I'm not sure. I guess it's not really a big deal, but whatever.
Like, in the rumors, it's, you can have up to 4 players playing together, which would be very different.
That would ruin the entire experience.
Right? You can put down bonfires whenever you want. Like, lots of things that are so against what Dark Souls is that I'm like...
I wonder if that's correct then. Maybe it's
not. That's why I'm like, we don't know what all is actually true or not.
Yeah.
Because, again, we have no confirmation from the actual developer, so everybody stop flipping out.
Yeah, we'll probably know by E3, certainly.
This is going to sound blasphemous, but I found Bloodborne to be, leagues better than Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2, just in terms of enjoyment.
I mean,
it was just so fun.
It was hard, though. I didn't think the difficulty was up there in comparison.
It was... I think... The thing is, though, it felt more fair in its difficulty, at least in my opinion.
That's not what I want out of those games. I want fairness. What are you talking about?
I want a good balance of difficulty versus reward, as opposed to difficulty just to be difficult. I just want to feel good while playing it, even though I'm having a hard time while playing it.
It's about fair difficulty, isn't it? It's about oh, I should have avoided that. It's not like, oh, bottomless pit out of nowhere,
Here's the thing is with and again, the only one that I've played all the way through is Dark Souls 2. But at least in that game, I never felt like I could just sort of run into a situation. In Bloodborne, I started to feel like, I got this. And I would run around and not die nearly as fast as I should have. Dark Souls definitely, it requires you to learn from your mistakes and pay a lot of attention. And I felt like Bloodborne didn't demand that much of me.
Interesting. I've yet to play it. I know they've somewhat fixed the loading times, but It's like, oh, they're only like 40 seconds now every time you die. Like, wow, if I wanted that, I'd go play fucking 2 Human again, where you had to wait for the Valkyrie animation every time you fucking died. That wasn't as bad as that. And that was bad. That was bad at the time. I remember having to defend that in an argument. I was like, well, it makes the game harder, and like it punishes you for dying. I was like, I can't come up with a good thing for this. I'm sorry. Like, that was just a silly thing. Silly 2 Human. Oh well. Yeah, so I mean, it shouldn't surprise people that there's probably going to be another Souls game. It'll probably sell like hotcakes, no doubt about that, but we'll see how it goes. We'll find out more about that at E3, I would imagine.
If that becomes an annual game, though, that's not good.
Well, I mean, some people already said that Dark Souls... apparently they've patched Bloodborne again, and apparently it's even better now. Okay, it's like 15 seconds now.
I like Bloodborne. I'm not saying I disliked Bloodborne. I'm just saying I didn't think that... Like,
oh, you hate it.
I hate it! For as much as people were saying that Bloodborne was supposed to be as difficult as Demon Souls, and Dark Souls 2 is well known as the easiest of the 3... I was coming from Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne didn't feel nearly as hard as Dark Souls 2.
was not as hard as Dark Souls. Like, I beat Demon Souls, and Dark Souls I didn't beat. Like, that Dark Souls is much harder than Demon Souls. In my opinion. I don't know about Dark Souls 2. Like, I don't enjoy that franchise that much. I respect it. I mean, I at the time when I played Demon Souls, I adored it, because it was so different. But then it's like, I don't feel like doing that again. And then it's like Dark Souls, Demon Souls is like, all right, okay, more of that.
Those games definitely give me that feeling like we were talking about of, like, once I'm successful at something, I feel really good about myself. Just like, I tried something over and over and over and over again, and then I beat it, and I'm like, fuck yourself! Like, it just feel awesome.
Yeah,
and I also like the world building and the fact that you have to, like, if you want to know the lore, you have to actually work at it. And I think Bloodborne had that too. I really liked the aesthetic of Bloodborne a lot.
Absolutely.
Well, also Cthulhu. It's always lovely to have some Lovecraftian stuff going on with that.
Always Lovecraft, always.
Yeah. Yes, Jesse.
No, I'm just not a fan of any of those games. They do not interest me in any way, and the amount of work you have to do to even get story is bullshit. So.
Well, I mean, it's definitely not the kind of... those games are very open to interpretation. Like, Varty literally makes his money by making shit up about Demon Souls and Dark Souls. And he does a very good job at it, no doubt about that. But a lot of the lore, in fact, almost all of the lore, comes through item descriptions and things like that.
Yep.
And it's a very open to interpretation. But I think that's kind of cool. It's nice that there's, like, one game that doesn't, like, shove the lore down your throat and make it super easy to understand. But as a lore hound, I can understand why you would want to kill the developer.
It creates intrigue.
No, false. It creates no intrigue. There's zero intrigue. The intrigue comes from the people who are like...
You could have said outrigue. That would have...
No.
Anyway, go on.
No story, it does not... having no story, then it'd be like, but there is story if you read items. That's not story. That's just flavor. That's making it a little more interesting. But it doesn't... It's still a storyless game that people make up their own story for. If that's your shit, cool. I think that's lazy as balls.
Well, it's pretty much, it gives you, like, main points of a story that you just, like, connect the pieces yourself, like, with imagination and stuff like that. Like, it gives you some, like things to work with. And then, you can work with it, or you can be like, I completely deny that. That's not my canon. You're not even a thing. Or something like that. I don't know. It's just like...
It's all part of world building, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. Nope.
You're just not a child inside anymore. You're an old, bitter man.
No, fuck you, Cry. First off, if you were a father and you had to read your kid a good night story, and you sat down to read that fucking story,
it's the new expansion for Shovel Knight. You got to fight the bed knight.
Yeah, if you had to sit down and start reading a story, and you were like, a bunch of things happen, and you fight a guy. But if you want to know more, we can read 25 item descriptions, little boy. You're going to be like, fuck off, Dad.
This is a really bad argument. I just want to point out. It's not the same medium.
Experiencing anything.
I'm sorry, when you have a kid, are you going to read them the storyline of Dragon Age Inquisition? I don't think you're going to read them fucking quest text.
Oh, shut up, you old fart. So what I'm saying is that the whole point is
oldest guy in the room is yelling about this, by the way.
Who is also the youngest at heart. Fuck y'all. So what you're saying is that a young child would be into this game. Bullshit.
Why
kid
would
play this
you
game.
wouldn't give fucking Dark Souls to
No
a
one
young
said
child? What the
that.
fuck's wrong with
Say
you?
That's what Christ said. Fuck you, Dodger. You're not you're a girl. No one cares what you think. Also, also,
Right?
That
Yep,
game's shit.
also.
the game's shit, and I'm like, the game is shit. It's a shit game made for people who like to torture themselves with stupid stuff like, hey, I'm gonna go spend 15 hours farming a dinosaur. That's what that's all about. It's that whole like I like to waste my
But
time.
15 hours farming elf fruit in the hinterlands, that's totally okay, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
because
fine.
you use that shit, and in the end, it helps you get cool stuff. Instead of
And
I farmed a
dinosaurs
dinosaur to get
don't.
a dinosaur.
Yeah,
No.
you get to ride a dinosaur and then kill other people with your dinosaur.
And then other people kill your dinosaur, and you've lost 15 hours of your life. There's the difference.
But you lost 15 hours of your life gathering elf fruit.
Nope, because then
Yeah.
I used that to get me something that never goes away. That always helped me.
Yeah, but
Consumable
dinosaur-
potions? They inherently
shit.
do go away.
Yeah, that then helped me kill the boss.
But they're
Motherfucker
consumable! You
boss.
said they didn't go away! They fucking do as soon as you drink them!
Once you drink them, they enter your body and it becomes part of you. Fuck you, TV.
Oh my god, take your existential bullshit elsewhere. Go work for fucking Polygon if you want to pull that shit on me.
all you need to know is, in those games, there's no fucking story, and it's people making shit up to make
But
themselves feel like
all
there's a
story is stupid, of course.
Yeah,
What's the
you're
what?
just pushing buttons. Like, what's even the point, you know?
Yeah, what's the point?
Well, I mean, I guess if that's the way you guys want to be, then I know a few good media outlets that would love to hire you, and I can
Yeah.
do this podcast by myself. That's cool. We can make that happen.
Yeah, I
I'll
mean,
just- I'll
Dodger's
just
an
hire-
oppressed minority, so she'll get a job wherever she wants. It'll be great.
Yeah, I'll just hire another, I'll find another, like, small baby child girl, and then I'll find,
Oh,
I'll
will
call
you?
up-
There are a lot of
Okay,
us.
maybe you
There are a
shouldn't
lot
do
of
that.
us.
Ashley
So you'll
Birch.
be
I'll be
fine.
like, hey, Ashley, want to be on a podcast? And then I'll call up,
Oh yeah, the
this
Birches
one,
really
motherfucker.
like me. I'm sure that'll go swimmingly.
No, well, you'll be gone. You'll work for Kotaku. And,
Yeah, right, okay.
and I'll find another angry British guy. There's a bunch of you. We'll bring it on. And Cry can come back. We'll get Krendor. Fuck, Krendor can dress up as Stevie. Great. It'd be the exact same. Nothing would change. Nothing would
God
change.
damn it. You know, I was gonna ask what you hoped for E3, but I don't even care now. Like, you probably just hope for beef and violence for the most part.
That's all I want. Beef and violence. The edible beef, right?
Yes, yeah, that can.
Yeah, totally. Beef and
Okay, okay.
violence, always, please.
I guess we got like probably about 5 minutes before we do the releases for this week. So, quick things like what are you looking most forward to seeing at E3? What do you expect to come out of E3? Dodger, go.
I mean, it would be cool if we could play Dark Souls 3.
Well done.
I honestly, I don't know a whole lot about what's supposed to be shown at E3. Jesse?
Doom. I want Doom. I want, even though it probably won't exist, Dishonored 2 would be great. Fallout, I'm completely unhyped for, but whatever. I'm sure it'll be good in the end, but I have no hype for it right now. Let's see. I think I'm really excited to see what Nintendo brings, because Nintendo always brings cool stuff. And I think, I don't know, man. I wanna actually play Battlefront. I think that'd be fun to actually play. But
True.
who knows? It could be shit. I'm excited to see what the difference is in, like, I want to see what Ubisoft brings, mostly because I want to know if it's gonna be good or just more Ubi shit. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff I want to see. Deus Ex I think would be amazing. I've already seen a bunch of stuff from Square Enix. I think that their Dragon Warrior game is going to be cool. But
maybe Mirror's Edge? If there's
Didn't
any
they
Mirror's Edge
announced
stuff there?
some of that
Yeah.
today, right?
Mirror's Edge Catalyst
Catalyst.
was trademarked.
They're claiming it is not Mirror's Edge 2, though. They're claiming that it's sort of a reimagining of Mirror's Edge, whatever the fuck that means.
I was hoping
So
it was
for
going to
your
be
phone.
Mirror's Edge Catalyst
Yeah,
is going to be for your
phone.
phone. Yes.
Yeah.
There was
Probably.
already there was
Oh.
actually a really good Mirror's Edge game for the phone. It was one of the first runners, and it was really quite good. It's actually worth a try.
for your
But I
phone.
certainly hope it's not that.
Well,
Yeah.
that's neat.
So it's weird. It's like, this is the statement from them that said, this is not a sequel, this is not Mirror's Edge 2. we have landed on a vision that honors the first game, pushing the boundaries of first-person movement and diving deeper into the story behind our heroine, Faith, but also brings a lot of great new interesting gameplay and features to experience for our new players. How is that not a sequel?
It uses the Connect.
Oh, God,
Nice.
no!
Hell
Holy
yeah.
shit, that would be terrible.
Sign me up.
Oh. I mean, that's very, very vague. I mean, by the sounds of it, that's a sequel, but then the only other possibility is it's a remake. Why are you remaking a game that only had one game in it? Like, I understand, like, oh, let's start doing HD remakes. Now we have 7 games in the series. It's like...
Maybe VR?
I mean, possibly? For Morpheus, maybe? But I don't know. That's strange. That's a very odd statement. It's like, is it a sequel or isn't it? Is it a remake or isn't it? I don't even know.
Speaking of VR, there was a really cool video I saw the other day there was like a guy with like 2 lightsabers. Do you know what I'm talking about? It was on Reddit. It was like he had 2 lightsabers. He was like moving out of a room, and it was like this thing summoning missiles, and he was like dodging away from him. Like the whole room was set up for it, and you could see both perspectives. I don't know what I swear it had to do with Valve's VR thing they're doing. Do you know anything about that, or am I just talking about my buddy?
No,
or-
I don't know what you're talking about.
I wish I knew more about the things I talked about. I just see things and I just
Cry.
go for.
Let me tell you
Yes.
something. Let me give you some advice.
Okay.
Don't fucking bother. Just talk. You don't need to know shit
All
we
right, man.
talk about.
Thank
I do
you.
that all the time. Just talk, and eventually you can out-talk them, and they have to listen to you. That's what you do. So just
Bloodborne.
go with it, bro. Just go with it.
Okay. Fair enough. Thank you.
I support you.
That's all I had to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then. Well, I guess we'll see what comes out of E3. And I'm personally looking forward to seeing Doom, obviously. I want to see some actual gameplay of that damn thing. See Battlefronts, obviously, for the same reasons. More information on XCOM 2 is always good. I know that IGN First is getting a bunch of info on that game. They're talking about the Ranger class right now. They actually emailed me and said, hey, do you want to come watch the presentation at E3? I was like, I'd love to, but not going to be there. So I would like to see a bit more on that. And obviously just new announcements. I mean, will Bethesda announce something else? Will Dishonored 2 be a thing? Because, I mean, they're not going to announce Fallout 4. They already have. So, do they have an announcement? I hope they do. I mean, well, you wouldn't have a press conference if you didn't, right?
I know it's too soon for it, but I would also like to see some more stuff about the. Isn't CD Projekt Red making like a cyberpunk game?
Or
You won't see that for a
2070
long time. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
That
that
shit
looked
ain't
me.
gonna be
Excited
on the
for it,
radar. Yeah.
One of
I think
these
they said
days.
they're not
it'll
going to
come.
talk about that until 2016 now.
Oh man.
Because in order to get the Witcher out, they moved people from that game to Witcher.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I
like
see.
it's basically was frozen. So
That, and they're doing post-release support for Witcher and doing new content for Witcher, so it's going to be... going to take a while.
but everyone is hyped about that game because it's. I still remember the trailer being like, I want this now in my life.
I didn't even know what it was. I just wanted it.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can go play the old one. Whatever that
Yeah.
was. 2020, Cyberpunk, whatever it was. Cyberpunk something.
Should I just play Shadowrun while I wait?
Really, you should.
If you're playing
Yeah.
Dragonfall, then yes, because it's fucking great.
Okay, I'll do it for you.
Go play Dragonfall. It's really, really good.
I mean, yeah, Deus Ex, they'll have stuff there for it, but I don't know if they'll
Yeah.
have anything playable.
Man
I mean, they'll have stuff there for. There's as far as I'm aware, Xbox like has me down for like a 2-hour time slot to watch about 12 jillion videos. So there's gonna be lots of videos.
You put
this
that in
year.
quotes because they literally emailed you being like, you want to watch 12 jillion videos?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
I just want to see
So-
reasons to use my consoles again, because right now I don't really have reasons to use them. So
Yeah.
let's see what new first-party shit they've got going on. Let's see what they've managed to hook in as an exclusive. Don't spend most of your time talking about Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's like, if I see more fucking timed exclusive bullshit, I will not be happy. Because timed exclusives are not good for anybody but the fucking console manufacturer.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we didn't want to pay to make an exclusive game, so we're going to get it before everybody else and piss off everybody else. Like, great. That's lovely.
Isn't there a new Uncharted?
It's an
Yeah, they'll
HD
show
remake
that.
collection. They're showing Uncharted 4, but they're also doing a remake collection of Uncharted 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, okay.
Because
Yeah,
apparently you got to
get
HD remake fucking everything these days.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get some Uncharted. We'll get Halo 5. We'll get a bunch of stuff. But
Mhm.
here's what I'm thinking 90% of it, Halo 5, we'll see video of the actual game and maybe get a chance to play PvP, which we already have at like previous.
Well,
events.
they had a beta for it, so I assume they're going to show single player instead of the online
Well,
multiplayer
we'll get a
because we've
video.
already had that.
We'll get every at E3 I've been to where I've gone to Xbox, they don't let you play. They just put you in a room and like give you videos.
Well,
So-
they streamed the beta for several weeks on Twitch, and that was a bunch of people playing it, so that was a thing. I want to see what Platinum comes up with. I know Platinum was working on some weird-ass dragon thing where you morph into a dragon, and also you have headphones for some reason, I think.
What?
What? I'm in.
Dragon headphones?
Yes, dragon headphones. That's the name of the game.
Alright.
Now I'm Googling this shit.
It's called
Dragon
it's called
headphones.
Scalebound. It's supposed to be an Xbox One exclusive. We don't know anything about it really, except we saw a pre-rendered trailer. But that's
Whatever happened to that one game that was a dragon? You were like, it was the dude fighting dragon with the fire, and they hyped that shit up forever.
was
like
that
the
PS3
dungeon-
launch title. Lair? Is that Lair?
Oh, I know what
I
you're
think?
talking about. It had. It's
Was it
not
called
out yet,
that?
I don't think. It's
Oh,
still
oh,
like
you
that
thinking about
shit
something else.
So much.
I don't remember what it's called.
It's the one when they released the Xbox One, and they showed like how high. Oh my god, what the hell?
Oh,
is the name of
what? Crimson Dragon?
that? Maybe.
That was a
I don't
launch
know.
title and it sucked. Unfortunately, it was supposed to be like
no, it's
Panzer
definitely
Dragoon.
not it.
Yeah, it was something else.
It's
Mm,
the one
I'm
with
not
the
sure
dudes
what
with
it's
the
called.
guns.
Capcom.
They
Yeah,
showed
it
off
was
the
Capcom.
Yeah, it was a Capcom game.
Deep Down.
Oh, Deep Down.
Yes.
That's gonna be a free-to-play MMO thing, right? Isn't it?
Oh, was it?
What?
Well, now I'm not interested.
That's on PS4. But they're changing it around.
PS4's
They said that they're making a bunch of changes to it now, so that we have no idea what it is anymore.
Oh,
Yeah, Deep Down, aiming for realer than real. Oh, I guess it was PlayStation 4. Aiming for realer than real.
Yeah, okay. If you want to do that, you wouldn't release it on a console.
that reminded me. Dragon's Dogma. Aren't they doing something new with that too? The new.
They're doing it on Dragon's Dogma
Oh
Online,
yeah, I
right?
think so. Yeah,
Huh.
we might not get it though.
That's
know.
not fun.
I like Dragon's Dogma.
They
Yeah, it was
I
actually
just like the intro.
They actually just released information on that. Dragon's Dogma Online is coming out August the 31st in Japan. They're claiming that it runs at 1080p 60, which is kind of neat. That is as of 5 hours ago. But they're going to be releasing it on PC as well. But we don't know if it's coming out over here. Yep, Capcom has still not announced a Western release. Because
Thanks,
it's
Capcom.
Fucking Capcom.
Yay.
Of course it is. Sounds about right.
That's depressing.
Is Blizzard going? I assume they are. To E3?
Mm.
Because I assume they'll be showing more Overwatch, right?
Is Overwatch good? You guys have played it, right?
Oh,
it's so
what?
much
It's
fun.
so good.
It's so much
really
fun.
A lot of the videos I see, like people always keep complaining about like how the hands are too big or something like the guns
The
are
weapon
too
models
big.
are too big and the field of view is too narrow, and they're being stubborn about
when you're,
it.
When
so.
you're playing, there's like a lot of weapon in your sight line, depending on who you are.
Yeah, that they need to fix. Like outside of that, that's the only real complaints that I've got.
Okay.
But Blizzard are being really stubborn about it. Like they made some bullshit argument that like, oh well, you get a competitive advantage if you turn the FOV up, and it's too complicated. It's like stop treating your customers like idiots,
Everyone
please.
can do that.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone can do that. So, but if you have a bad PC, then you can't. Yeah, but if you have a bad PC, it's also going to run at lower frames per second, and that's going to give you a competitive disadvantage as well. If I have a better mouse than you, I have a competitive advantage, for fuck's sake. Don't pull that shit on me. Don't give me that crap.
When I was at the Overwatch event, I brought this question up because the two characters they introduced are the opposite ends of that spectrum. You have one guy who has a little pistol that's like barely taking main screen, and you have the chick with this giant thing in the screen. So I asked them, I was like, I assume that's a problem. Like that might be a problem. They're like, well, you see, we don't want to change our game. Like it was literally just like, we don't want to change it. And I was like,
Blizzard, for all what they do, they are bloody arrogant sometimes, I've got to admit. And it's like, come on. Big view models suck on PC. Low FOV sucks on PC. That's the reality for everybody. Nobody likes big weapon models. Name one person that can give a good reason why you should have a big weapon model. What's the gameplay reason for that? There isn't one, is there?
Yeah.
It's just Blizzard typically over-designing shit and then getting stubborn when people say, no, that's a bad idea, maybe you shouldn't do that.
Well, I mean, what they said is they wanted to, like, this is their words, and this is me paraphrasing, but they wanted the artistic elements to be intact, and they were mad that when people change FOV stuff, that it destroys the art that they've created. Like, that's basically what it was.
Fuck
like,
off.
we don't want people to have this giant screen with our stuff like all out of whack, and there's. Like,
I can't experience your art if it literally makes me feel sick 10 minutes into playing it. You know, I care more about that than your stupid fucking artistic vision. And frankly, like, if you can't make your game work that way, then you suck anyway. There's plenty of games that have a really nice artistic vision that still let you change that stuff. You know? Like, give your users just a little bit of control and stop treating them like children, please. That would be lovely. Bastards.
No.
No.
Yeah, no.
Wow,
That's their
excuse me,
response to
Blizzard
you.
representative.
I'm sorry, they paid me to say that.
Of course they did.
Yep.
Well, I know that's a lie, because Blizzard never pay anyone anything. That I can tell you
Oh.
from experience.
Good
Oh
point.
my god. It's like getting blood out of a stone. Alright, let's do releases and then let's wrap it up, shall we? Dodger begin. There's not much. This is going to take about 2 minutes at most.
This will take no time at all. All
Yeah.
right. Today, June 9th, we've got Kholat, Kholat for PC.
Sean Bean?
Yep.
It's a horror game, maybe.
Not coming out to good reviews right now. A couple of reviews
Oh,
up
really?
so far. GameSpot gave it a 4 out of 10.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Wow, that ain't good.
No.
That's
It's a shame.
It's got middling reviews from most people. GameSpot actually gave it its lowest review, but most of it's like being 50s and 60s. So, maybe not amazing.
We've got the Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited for Xbox One and PS4.
Yep, that's finally out on consoles.
Still poop.
Is it really?
It's the single biggest letdown that I've had in like the last 2 years.
And he plays
This is-
Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah.
Hey!
Oh yeah. Final Fantasy 13, at least you knew it was gonna be bad. Elder Scrolls was like, we're gonna keep hyping it, we're gonna give you a chance. Nope, it's garbage.
This is
Garbage.
That's why I refuse to buy into any hype regarding MMOs ever again.
Just don't.
Oh, I
Yeah.
played a version of the game that was
I've been
totally
burned
different than the one that got
too
released.
many times on that
Mhm.
shit. I take every MMO with a pinch of salt now. Actually, a mountain of salt.
Did you get hype behind Warhammer Online?
Yeah, I did. That's what burned me.
Same here.
I bought I have my collector's edition for that around
Same
here somewhere.
here.
Like $100 collector's edition for that motherfucking thing. Login day one, it's a laggy piece of shit. They never fixed it. It was still unresponsive, and then they abandoned the game later on. And they ended up turning it into this shitty 5v5 arena game that they then cancelled as well. Oh, fuck that game and everything it stood for.
I was so sad about all that situation.
I am super salty about that. It's why if Eternal Crusade is disappointing, I will track the people responsible down and do horrible things to them. Seriously, it will be a Saw-like experience. Like, I want to play a game, just not yours, because it fucking sucks. And then they have to go through various challenges and have to like murder each other for keys and shit. You know, in the grim darkness of the far future, there was only bad MMOs.
We've got Operation Abyss, New Tokyo Legacy for Vita and PlayStation Network Vita.
Yes, of course.
This looks sort of kind of promising, maybe? Ish.
We can hope.
It looks like it might be okay. It's animes. It's by the studio that made Demon Gaze. It's mostly well reviewed actually. I think it's a dungeon crawler RPG, which is what you get a lot of on Vita these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
I'm.
can't get into them.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm just saying I just can't get into those kind of games.
I'm gonna read through releases up until the next Tuesday.
Yeah, because there's really not a lot.
Yeah.
You don't release games around E3. It's a really dumb idea.
Because next week is gonna be June 17th. We've got Legends of Pixella.
Apparently we do.
Is that a Legends of game or is it just as a similar name?
No, it's just a very pixely game.
Oh, okay.
Came out and it was funded by Indie. Oh god, actually no. They're trying to fund it through Indiegogo, but it has $233 of funding so far. But it's coming out. It's in early access and they're asking for more money, which is generally not a good sign.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Up on June 18th, we've got Streets of Fury EX for PC.
All right, first
Oh.
off, this game looks fucking ridiculous. Paris has fallen. Street gangs have seized control. You are playing. It looks like Mortal Kombat 1 style graphics.
God, this looks awful.
I like it.
They're digitized real actors. Why would you do that in 2015?
Because it's 1994, TV.
No, don't do that. It wasn't good then either. Now it's even worse.
Up to 4 players co-op, though.
No.
Nice.
Up to 4 players co-op, though.
Don't digitize real actors, you bastards. Why would you do... Look at this crap. I'm going to show people just how awful this is.
Harris has
Look
fallen.
at this thing. Look at it. Just look at it.
Harris has fallen, though.
Yeah, we got to defend Paris with this. We got to do it.
Oh, no.
He's a red belt.
Harris has fallen.
Oh, this is poisoning video games.
For some reason, this is giving me a Kung Fury vibe, and I don't know why.
Yeah, but Kung Fury is actually good.
That was a pretty good
Especially if you play the video game version of it is like one finger death punch. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it doesn't. You can't play it for very long though.
No, you
It
can't.
gets boring
But it is
real
like
quick.
$1, so I guess that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that looks terrible. Holy shit. That's a Jim Sterling game right there.
And then June 19th, we've got MotoGP 15 for PC.
Motorbikes, woo.
Yay.
And that's the end. The end. Did
Yeah,
it.
it's pretty
Yay.
much it. I mean, there's
Yeah,
probably a few lesser-known
games.
indie games that are coming out quite soon, I would imagine, including Monster Jam Battlegrounds, available on June the 10th. Monster Trucks. This doesn't look terrible, actually. Huh. Monster Trucks.
Can you like do like monster truck like things or just race them?
They claim there's some battling involved in some respect, but I don't know if that's just racing. Like smashing monster trucks with other monster trucks does sound fun, I have to admit.
Yeah, that part is the fun part of monster trucks.
I would agree.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's about it then. And Blood Bowl 2 apparently is also coming out this week,
Oh.
supposedly.
I didn't even know they
Is
were
it this
making it
week?
too.
Yeah, it's the same as the first one, just shinier, apparently. It says it's coming out in June, it doesn't say when on Steam. So it's coming out at some point this month, we just don't know when.
You guys played that pretty extensively, right? The first one?
We did a couple of leagues for it. We might do another one, I'm not sure. People keep thinking we got paid by the developer to do that, when really, it was just me convincing everyone, this game is really silly, let's make a league of it. And it was just, it ended up being a really bad format, because the videos were like 2 hours long each. It was really stupid.
Amazon's forever.
Oh, I played the Goblins, and then I lost every match in Season 2 as the Goblins. That was just awful. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Okay, that about wraps it up for the show. Big thanks for watching the Corruptional Podcast, but before we go, we would love for you to go watch ads on our channel. So, in order to do that, Cry, why should people go watch ads on your channel?
Oh, you should watch ads on my channel because I totally am. I'm pretty much like every other freaking guy who plays video games on the internet. Just, you want to see another guy play video games on the internet, just come check out me playing video games on the internet over on Chaotic Monkey. Woo!
Chaotic Monkey.
When you
Holy
Google
crap.
search the word cry, he's pops up.
top
I mean,
result.
that's got to count for something, right?
Yay, it's counting for something. My mom won't be
Yay.
happy with it.
SEO, motherfucker. Dodger, what's coming up on the channel this week?
More Lesbian Nights, aka Sakura Fantasy.
Oh, that game. God
Yep.
damn.
It's getting so full of plots, so many plots.
Yeah, there's a lot of
The
plot.
plots are so real. I
Yep,
think
big soppy plot.
it's almost over. It's almost over for that chapter.
Thank God.
But I don't know, guys. Butt touching games, visual novels, that's what I do. And then a weekly news show about the industry and such. So if that sounds like your jam, come hang out on this channel. Press hard to continue. And on all the social medias, I'm at DexBonus, DEXBUNUS. And I would love to have you.
Jesse,
That's it.
Hey everybody, I would love for you to come to youtube.com/JesseCox. Why, you might ask? Because that's my channel, and it would be stupid of me to say to go someplace else, so go there.
sold.
Man,
Yep.
nice. You are a
Good pitch,
salesman.
that. Very good.
There's videos of games
Games.
on it.
Whoa. Whoa.
I know. I
Video
know.
games.
And here's something you won't find that these other guys do.
Huh?
Quality control.
Oh.
Not present. Being sick, you get whatever the hell you get. I've uploaded videos this week where I don't know what the hell I said in them because I've just been like, I'm sick. I'm making videos. Done. Perfect.
Huh.
You will have a good time. You have a good time.
Thank you.
Okay. Fair enough. Stuff on my channel this week. More content patch. Kind of waiting before we get a bunch of E3 stuff. I mean, E3 week is gonna be fairly hectic. I will be away this weekend, though, because I'm gonna go watch wrestling in Ohio. So I'm leaving.
What?
I'm going to watch WWE. I'm going to go to Money in the Bank and go watch Raw and NXT. We're doing 3 nights of wrestling. It's going to be great. So
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
God bless you.
Fuck you guys. I'm going. So I'll be in Ohio over the weekend. So there won't be any videos then. But then I'll be back, and then it'll be like E3 everything. And I believe the Steam sale's starting pretty soon. So Salebox will resume and so on and so forth. So yeah, there you go. That'll be what's happening.
Woo.
Yeah, that starts on my birthday.
Exciting.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy all the games I already own. Let's go.
So many games on Steam.
Oh.
Yep.
You should also come and watch MangaPod on twitch.tv/dexterity bonus tonight at 7:30 Pacific time.
Or
you're
watch
interested
roleplay,
in
which
Chinese
is by far
cartoons.
better. Or go watch
No, you
R&D.
should probably watch MangaPod.
If
Or-
you have,
It's a
if
manga
you
book
aren't
club. Doesn't
if
that
you
sound
aren't-
fun?
a horrible human being, you
Not
will come watch us
especially-
because only.
See, now Jesse's
weirdos.
just being rude, so you should probably come see the one out of the two of
When
us who
am I
isn't
not
rude.
rude? Didn't we discuss this?
Or you could say fuck both them and go watch Kitchen Nightmares on Netflix. Cause fuck it.
There's
Fair
that.
point.
That is
Sure.
the better choice. That is
Yeah,
the better
that's
choice.
the better choice. Out
And
of all
now
of
we
them,
are
yeah.
in agreement. You have been watching the Professional Podcast. Good night.
Bye.